Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We have got another live stream of Super Rugby Pacific. This game, the Chiefs taking on the Highlanders, the first game on New Zealand soil that we will get to see. We were supposed to see Moana Pacifica taking on the Blues yesterday due to the positive cases. That means that game has been postponed, but I hope you guys are all doing well. Chiefs versus Highlanders should be a very exciting game, and it is being played in Queenstown. Looks like there's a little bit of rain around at the moment, which is unfortunate because it does mean it might be a little bit greasier out there. We may not see it as smoothly operating as it would be if it was fine. But we have got Katie in the chat. We have got Smithy Toilet. Also, David the Mod is here. Crazy NZ as well. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic and hope you're all excited for another week. The first week, indeed, of Super Rugby Pacific. Let's go, Chiefs, says Toilet Smithy there. And it should be a very exciting contest. Do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. And we back, baby, says Jack Lacey. And this is the first of 3 matches that we will be covering on the channel today. First match, Chiefs versus Highlanders. Second, it's a big game, Crusaders taking on the Hurricanes. And then the third game that we will be covering, it will be the matchup that has taken place between the Reds and the Rebels. But currently we are sitting around 19 minutes or so away from the kickoff of this game. And hey, mate, how's your day going? It's going absolutely fantastic because we have now got Super Rugby back for the New Zealand side of the draw. And a stat that I did see before this match is in Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021, the New Zealand sides, they averaged a total of 3.1 tries per match compared to the Super Rugby AU sides of 2.7, and also in Trans-Tasman, New Zealand teams scoring 5.8 tries per game, which means we're going to get a lot of tries here in this matchup. That's good as well. And also, hey, howdy, hey, Amish, how you doing? I'm doing very well. Thank you, Katie. And hope you are the same there. Looking through, first of all, at the Chiefs lineup now. We will be going through them. First of all, in the front row, Ollie Norris, Bradley Slater, and Sione Mafaleo. Strong forward pack the Chiefs have gone with for this match. They've actually got a huge amount of depth in the next 2 positions that we will be talking about. Lachlan McWannell at number 4. He's actually making his debut here. And then Brody Retallick hasn't played a game for the Chiefs since 2019. Will be rearing to go in this first up contest of Super Rugby Pacific. Luke Jacobson at number 6. We did see him in the number 8 jersey. A little bit more for the All Blacks, but he has moved back to 6. Sam Cane at 7. That man recently making his way back into the ABs. And then Peter Gus-Soakula slotting in at number 8. The big man plays for Taranaki and at the Bunnings NBC. Xavier Rowe will be the number 9 option. They have lost Te Rata Huriorangi. He has actually gone to the Chiefs, gone to the Crusaders, I should say, from the Chiefs. So that is why it is Xavier Rowe getting the start with Brad Weber instead coming off the bench. One of the co-captains, I should mention also Sam Cane, the other co-captain for the Chiefs. Josh Ioane, this is a game that he would have been looking forward to, but also probably dreading because he is up against his old side in the Highlanders. He is going to be playing 10 for this matchup. He had a very good preseason. Same with the rest of the Chiefs team. They were doing very nicely indeed. Yeah, I've got the hey mate. I'm Ryan. Go Highlanders as well. Welcome into the live stream, Ryan. Hope you're doing well once again. It is good to see you back, and I'm trying to be more active on the streams. And then is this going to be our first year for the Warriors? They kick off this afternoon too. I do see that they have got their preseason fixture up against the Melbourne Storm. It's going to be a tough game for them in that one. And also we can't lose to England this year. In the chat, and hello, Amish. Good afternoon. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Looking through the rest of the backline. Quintal Pye, a man who broke onto the scene for the All Blacks this year as well. Alex Nankabell at number 13 will be normally at inside centre, but with Quintal Pye playing the way that he is, got to put him at 13. Jonah Lowe out on the left wing. Sean Stevenson out on the right. And then Amoni Narawa, man who has come from the Blues, is going to be there ready to go at number 15. I don't know why that took me so long to say fullback, but I think I was listening to this ad that they have got on there as well. So we will have to wait and see how it does end up going for this game for the Chiefs. But now looking through at the lineup that they have decided to go with for the Highlanders, also a very strong side, although missing a few players due to injury and also due to the fact that we have got a couple other kind of reasons, I guess, behind it, such as going to Japan, such as an Ash Dixon. But the front row, Ethan de Groot, Liam Coleman, and Jermaine Ainsley will be the props and the hooker for this one. Malachi Selby-Ricker and Josh Dixon slotting in as the 2 locks. Shannon Frizzell, James Leachers, who has been scoring a lot of tries for the Highlanders as of late, and then Gareth Evans. The Highlanders have scouted him from the Hurricanes. He's going to be ready to go at number 8 over Moreno Makaele. Aaron Smith, the captain, slotting in at 9. Mitch under 10. Scott Gregory and Fatuli Pye returning after a very long injury layoff. Another player that isn't back from injury, Sio Tompkinson, who would like to be in that midfield eventually for this season. Josh Timu going to be out on that left wing. Mosisi Tawai plays for Waikato, the Bunnings NBC, so he's probably had a little bit of experience with a lot of these Chiefs players out on the park. And then Sam Gilbert is at number 15 for the Highlanders. You have the whole summer to sort out the twists in your headphone wires. Is it another season of twisted wires? I think it is. I mean, I can pull it out and it will untwist, but then it twists again. So it's just one of those ones that the headset doesn't like me, and we just have to adapt, I guess, to a twisted headset. Should get a wireless one, shouldn't I? Wireless would solve a lot of our problems, perhaps, if I did end up with a wireless headset rather than the one that is attached. And Chiefs should obviously win this as well. Says Ryan, they are the favourites going into this game, but it certainly is still going to be a very exciting game. It's in neutral territory for this matchup, seeing as it's in Queenstown, so it's almost closer to a Highlanders home game than a Chiefs home game for this matchup. But we will look through at the benches that the two sides have gone with. For the Chiefs, Samasoni Takiaho, Atu Moli, and then it will be Angus Tava. So quite a few All Blacks slotting into all of these sides, which I am very happy about, because it does mean we get to see them all in action. Nato Akoi, Callum Boshia as the other replacements for the four-pack. Brad Weber at 9, or at 21, I should say, and he will be coming off the bench in this game. Bryn Gatlin, Chase Tiatia as the other two players who will be slotted in there off the bench in the later stages. Andrew Makaleo for the Highlanders. Daniel Leonard-Brown, Josh Honock, Bryn Evans, Marino Makaeli-Tu. Falau Fakatava returns from his injury as well. Marty Banks, he's going to be back in a Highlanders kit. And it would have been awesome to see the crowd reaction to that man being back for the Highlanders. If it was at Forsyth Bar, the zoo would have been going absolutely wild, but he does end up missing out coming back for this game in terms of in front of their home crowd, but hopefully still will have a good game. Thomas Umaga Jensen going to be slotting in at number 23 as well. The Twisters Wires have become the actual arms as well. And there says Katie Dixon, and also thoughts on Super Rugby in Queenstown. I guess it's the best way to keep it going, even though we've already had a game that was postponed. Like, I mean, it's going to be one of those ones that if you do end up getting as many games as possible played in the same location, it does make sense with the traveling side of it, because normally it's in transit that teams are picking up positive cases. And also, isn't Warren Gatlin a bit too old for rugby? As I says, Ryan, it's actually his son in the end, Bryn Gatlin, who does very nicely for himself. I think Warren, is he still involved in the Chiefs coaching setup? I think he is, alongside Clayton McMillan. Yeah, we will have to wait and see how he goes. I'd love to see Warren Gatlin return just to see how he goes out on the park. But the Chiefs taking on the Highlanders, the first game of Super Rugby 2022 for both of these New Zealand sides. We've had the preseason, and now we are going to be rearing to go in Queenstown. It looks like maybe the sun is starting to come out, so I don't think it is going to be hugely, I guess, wet from the rain, but more just a little bit slippery underfoot. And hey, Hamish, can't wait for Super Rugby, by the way. Which team do you support? That's a good question. I am closest in location to either the Crusaders or the Highlanders in terms of whereabouts I am in the country, but overall, I'm pretty impartial for all of the teams. And also, as Clayton, the main coach, I believe he has been given the nod to be the main coach for this season, with Warren Gatlin kind of overlooking him as well. And also, can you explain the Aussie situation? Will New Zealand play Australia and Pacific teams in Queenstown, or says Jake? So pretty much at this stage, the first 3 rounds of Super Rugby Pacific will be played for the New Zealand sides in Queenstown. After that, I think they are going to have a little bit of a reassess, although with the numbers that are starting to come in for the case numbers, I believe they will be continuing. If it is safe, they will keep on going in Queenstown. Round 10, I believe, is the first time we get to see a New Zealand side take on an Australian side. That is if the border restrictions do allow it for both countries type thing, because the next few games that we have got for the Chiefs, for instance, they are all going to be up against New Zealand sides. And at Moana Pacifica, the Blues, Crusaders, and the Hurricanes. Whereas I believe at this stage, it is the exact same for the Australian side. So you actually play all of your derbies twice, and then you go over, play it. So it's almost, I guess you could say, it's almost like Super Rugby Aotearoa combined with Super Rugby Trans-Tasman for the way that the season is going to be going out. It's the New Zealand sides playing the New Zealand sides. Then after they've finished playing all the New Zealand teams, they go overseas, they play up against the Trans-Tasman rivals, and then whoever's in the top 8 makes it through to the quarterfinals. These are the sides that are going to be playing off. For the Highlanders, they have got their game next week up against the Crusaders. That is always an awesome battle between those two sides. Hurricanes versus Highlanders, that seems to be one that can be electric with the amount of meters that they can end up making. I believe they made over 1,000 combined in that game for Super Rugby Aotearoa and Dunedin from 2020. Then they have got the Blues. That's a rematch of the Trans-Tasman final. And then Moana Pacifica as their last game there as well. Clayton from Rotorua. He was a cop as well, no officer. I don't know whose week this is, says David the Mod there. As long as it's not Josh Ioane telling him that, we're all good for him, because he is on debut. Yeah, and also he's talking about cricket or something as well, says, but they told him also for show, what are you on about? We did New Zealand play South Africa in 2022. Yeah, the cricket has just finished And it was a pretty awesome matchup between the two sides. New Zealand able to get themselves the win. They actually play next week for Test match cricket as well. So that is what he is talking about for that one. But now at this stage, the Highlanders 10 minutes away from getting underway for their Super Rugby Pacific season. I see Folau Wakatipu now. He did have the blonde mullet last year. He seems to have gone with just the classic black at this stage for the back. And we've seen a few haircuts so far. We're going to have to wait and see how it does go. And also, we have got them, my husband said, the injuries as well. And there with the yes and a 10 out of 10. And also, we have got the laughing faces from Katie. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who will be the shining light for both of these sides. I'm going to say a crucial player in the Chiefs lineup. It's got to be Josh Ioane, because he is going to have to really patrol that back line. Jonah Lowe, Sean Stevenson, they are all going to need him to really distribute the ball beautifully. And starts on left wing and Super Rugby debut for Josh Timu at the Highlanders. That is due to Jonah Nareki being out with an injury. They've actually got quite a few of the Highlanders, but they always do end up they always do end up actually with injuries, the Highlanders. Last year, I think they had about 8. And this year, they have already lost in the numbers of, I know that they've got a prop who is a little bit questionable at the moment for injury-wise. They've lost Sio Tompkinson. They've lost Jonah Nareki. There are also a couple other players. I'm looking forward to seeing Connor Garden-Bishop back in action. Rugby Guru probably has a hangover from orange juice. He didn't pitch for his own stream. As on there says Ryan. Wait, isn't he? He's going live for this game, isn't he? If I'm not wrong, the Rugby Guru, is he not there? I assume he's going on a little bit later, perhaps. No, he is supposed to be on, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And also, we have got there, I would pay an embarrassing amount of money to watch that. But yeah, I worry about the injuries. And there says Katie Dixon talking to Tony Brown at the moment, all the players getting ready to go. Liam Coltman, he's going to have a huge role to play here for the Highlanders, because losing Ash Dixon to Japan, that's a massive one to have, because you do not want to have that rolling ball really lose its momentum that the Highlanders have created over the last couple of seasons, because they have been outstanding. And someone's, I get Johan on the phone right now. I make sure he's okay. Says Katie Dixon. I was like, hey, lads, I got 1,000 people on my video. Says Brandon, so congratulations. Yeah, mate, that is pretty awesome. And Guru was streaming earlier, wasn't he? I believe he did the Curry Cup, if I'm not wrong, as well. Yeah, I've been doing all the South African rugby now, Super Rugby as well, just around the corner. They're showing Billy Harmon here, and he is going to be one that I will like to see later on in the season. Unfortunately, injured at the moment. He's the other player that I was trying to think of in that 4-pack. Perry Parkinson also out for the Highlanders. So yeah, the numbers just keep on adding up. The Highlanders actually wearing their away kit here. It looks very similar to Southland's colours, which will mean Marty Banks will feel right at home. Well, that's going, I don't know, but I think he got hung over. That juice looked a bit different when he was live yesterday in there. I mean, it was probably a mix, was it? Probably a mixture of something and something there. I know that he does enjoy, what was it that he had on one of the other live streams? I know that he drank a lot on one of the old ones and had to private it in the end, he was telling me about. And is this on Sky Sports 1? It is indeed. So we have got plenty of action. Also a gold medal for the Kiwis in the Winter Olympics came very recently for the snowboarding, but currently 7 minutes away from this kickoff. We're in Queenstown. The next game of the night, it will be the Hurricanes taking on the Crusaders. That is at Forsyth Bar, so neither home side really in that kind of matchup. And that will be, I mean, that's one thing that's interesting, because the Crusaders have such a great home record. And now that this is a home game away from home, I wonder whether or not we'll have a little bit of an effect. And Highlanders wearing maroon. They are indeed. They have gone with the maroon, as their away kit for this year. So I guess it's the thing. It's weird seeing the Highlanders in their away kit in this kind of format, but I guess it does make sense. These two kits, like for these two sides, are always very similar with the colours that they have got in classic small local rugby club rooms. Love it as well. And there, yeah, I guess it's kind of going back to grassroots a little bit for some of these guys. I feel like it will be a nice feeling to be able to really just kind of hang out and kind of soak in the moment. There's not going to be a huge amount of crowd for this match. Some players, like, they kind of thrive when they hear the crowd going for them. Other players prefer when it's like, oh, I feel like there's less people watching me, so I can just go about my business. But yeah, do let me know who you think will be scoring the first try. I am going to say for this matchup, first try is going to be scored by Jonah Lowe. Second try, if we are going to have a second try for the Highlanders, it is going to be scored by Scott Gregory. That is my prediction. I'm probably going to be wrong. It is about 5:30 a.m. in South Africa right now. Miss waking up for these early games, says the Ryan. And yeah, it certainly takes that commitment. I have to say, it is fair play to you being up at no matter what hour of the night it is. We got plenty of rugby on. I guess for you guys in South Africa, this is kind of like what it's like for us Kiwis when it's the Curry Cup on. And Hamish Kiwi lads channel progress. It's wonderful now, 9,600 subscribers, just 400 short of the 10K mark. And there says Michelle, yeah, we have been growing at an extreme rate at the moment, and it is all down to you guys. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Go Chiefs, says Stephanie, and also go Chiefs, says Katie Dixon there, and I'm sure he's fine. And then there it says Roamba. Now we are getting very close to the start of this game. Queenstown is the location. It's a scenery. And bungee jumping, something I would never do. I don't think I could convince myself to even jump off my deck, which is about, I'd probably be able to jump off my deck. I'd probably just do a calf or something in the process. But currently, all of the first 3 rounds of Super Rugby are going to be taking place in Queenstown for the New Zealand games. Now, the next week's games that are going to be coming up, so you guys can see them, it is Chiefs versus Moana Pacifica. Hopefully, the Moana Pacifica will be able to put together a side for that matchup. The Waratahs taking on the Reds closely after that game between the Chiefs and Moana Pacifica. The Brumbies taking on the Fijian Drua. Highlanders versus Crusaders in that South Island derby, and then the Rebels taking on Western Force, followed by the Blues versus Hurricanes on the Friday, or on the Sunday, I should say. Should be an absolutely awesome game. Currently on the table, Waratahs are sitting at the top. They did have a good win over the Fijian Drua, 40 points to 10. So because of that, they actually reward themselves with first place just for now on the table. But looking through at the starting lines before we get straight into the match, D-Mac in Japan as well. And there he is indeed. Alongside Ash Dixon is another player from this game who would have originally been there if he hadn't been in Japan. And also Lachlan Boshier, probably another one that we should be mentioning. But nonetheless, at this stage, we are getting close to the kickoff. This is the lineup for the Chiefs, the home side in this game. Ollie Norris, Slater, and Mafaleo as the front row. McWannell on debut for this one. And Big Brody Retallick returning to the starting lineup and also to the Chiefs in general since 2019 was the last time that we did get to see that man in action. Luke Jacobson, Peter Gasoakul, and Sam Kane will be the loose forward trio. Xavier Rowe and Josh Ioane on debut up against his old side in the Highlanders. Quintal Pyer and Alex Nankerville will make up the midfield. Jonah Lowe, Sean Stevenson out on the wings, and then Amoni Narawa will be sitting there at the fullback jersey. Then looking at the Highlanders, the group, Coleman Ainsley are the front row. Selby Rickett and Dixon making the locks. Shannon Frizzell, James Lynch's is a bit of a powerhouse, and Gareth Evans recently coming from the Hurricanes will be hoping to have some good momentum in this game and actually playing alongside a few of these guys in the it's actually the Hawke's Bay side, I should say. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do throughout the season. The Hawke's Bay guys, they were all on fire throughout the Super Rugby season last year, and now they have got another opportunity. He's still on the Ranfurly Shield as well. I should mention Hawke's Bay, but Aaron Smith, Mitch Hunt as the 19 combo. Scott Gregory, Fatuli Paya recently returning from injury at 13. Mosisi Dawai out on one wing. Josh Timu on debut out on the other, and Sam Gilbert at fullback. For the Highlanders, we have got the AU stream, the Crusaders versus Hurricanes game. We are indeed. And also the game straight after that, it is going to be the Reds taking on the Rebels. And who are you tipping for the dub? But this is a tough game to predict. I'm going to say whoever wins it by less than 7. But I'm going to say the Chiefs sneak it. They've had a very good preseason. The Highlanders could easily win this game, though. So I'm still very undecided on who's going to be able to get the win. Yeah, it's 14 degrees at the moment. 27 miles of wind, or 27 kilometers of wind, I should say. But the Highlanders at the moment, they are wearing the maroon for this game. Highlanders in the 2021 Super Rugby played 14, lost 6 of those games. Their win rate is 57%, but they did make it right through to the final of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman up against the Blues, where they did end up having a defeat, unfortunately. Well, that's how trying to line the stream up with Spark Sport or Sky Sport as well, says Jake. At the moment, once we do get the clock on, I will let you know exactly what time I'm on so that you do know whereabouts we are sitting, but currently showing Gareth Evans here. 30 years of age, 78 matches, 10 tries in his debut was in 2014. It's been a while for that man. And also, how many games has Sam Kane played since returning from his injury? For the Chiefs, I believe probably only like 2 or 3, something along those lines. I don't think it's a huge number. The Chiefs kit's looking very nice, though, very bright, just like Peter Gus Sowakulla's headgear for this game. And also, Hamish, how are you, mate? Says Trucking Down Under, doing very well, thank you, mate. And I'm excited for this game. Do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. I wish it was 14 degrees here, says Captain James. What are you sitting at the moment? We're actually 14 degrees here. So I guess if I was wishing it somehow has happened. I'm just about 4 hours away from Queenstown, somewhere along there. And Sam Kane is playing his power force. He is indeed. So he has recently returned from his injury. And I hope the Canes beat the Crusaders, and he's in the reserves. His power force. So he's actually in the starting lineup for this game. Going to be starting at number 7. Brody Retallick, also a returning All Black. Quintal Pyer, Luke Jacobson. We could list quite a few of the players that they have got who are from the All Blacks. I think on the bench, Samasoni Takiaho, Angus Tarval also there, and Brad Weber. So plenty of All Blacks in both lineups. It's going to be the Southland boys. Well, it's not Southland boys. I guess a little bit of Southland boys, though, for the Highlanders. Wearing their maroon cap. I wonder how many times I'm going to call them Southland throughout this one. Chiefs by 1,000. They're tracking down under. That's a good prediction. I feel like it's going to be close. Maybe only a few points off for that one. And also, what's the score margin for this match, says Ed Vogel? I would say less than 7 for either side to win this one. But kicking off now, Super Rugby Pacific underway. The Highlanders getting it underway, and Mitch Hunt is the man who kicks it downfield, taken nicely there on the 22 by Lachlan McWannell. And the best thing about the New Zealand sides is I actually probably know a lot more of these players in the Australian competition or the competition side of it, so I can actually name them majority of the time. Josh Ioane kicking it in behind, waiting for that one. Mosisi Dawai for the Highlanders. Get in that ball, tackled low though by Quintapaya. Looked for the offload, didn't quite find it. It was a knock on from James Lynch's of a loose pass, and it will be the scrum now. And players to watch from both teams, says Ed Vogel. I would say player to watch for the Chiefs. Oops, I almost just dropped my phone. Well, I did drop my phone, but I did catch it. I'm good in a slip cordon. I would say Josh Ioane for the Chiefs, honestly, because he is going to be the distributor in this game. He's up against his old side, and it's whether or not he's going to be able to handle the pressure. Also, Brodie Retallick in the number 4. I feel like his experience at line-out time will be huge for them throughout this game. For the Highlanders, Liam Coltman, he needs a big game. Replacing Ash Dixon, the rolling maul, is one of the most effective weapons that the Highlanders have, and they do not want to lose that just because they have lost Ash Dixon. Alongside in that back line, I'd say I'm going to go for Tuli Paya. Number 13, big man, loves to run it straight. See whether or not he can do it throughout this game. Currently retained in the scrum there. Josh Ioane out to Alex Nankivell. Wide cut out past the low. He's going to be trying to back himself on the outside. Dragged down by Mosisi Dawai. Josh Timu straight in the breakdown on debut. No, not quite able to turn it over. Row now. Back to Peter Gus-Sowakula. Quick hands to Jacobson. The two loose forwards for the Chiefs. Linking up quite nicely. Peter Gus-Sowakula pick and go around the side of the breakdown. 45 out now. Row goes to the short side. Quintapaya hitting up the ball, and he had an outstanding season for the All Blacks when he was getting the chance in the Rugby Championship. Short ball there from big Brodie Retallick to Peter Gus-Sowakula, driven backwards. Ioane now out to Sione Mafaleo. First take for himself, almost turned over. There's been quite a few close turnovers in the breakdown so far. Lachlan McWannell, Sean Stevenson. In fact, there's some very bright boots. I think that they both shop at the same place, Sean Stevenson, and I think it's Mitch Hunt, who's having a bit of a pushing contest at the moment. Kick with the cross kick from Josh Ioane. Will not be a 50-22 if it does go into touch. It's going to be close. Sam Gilbert now having to take a good low tackle from Quintapaya. Finds the offload to the Y. Goes for the chip and chase. Brodie Retallick trying to stop him. The ball doesn't sit up nicely for him, though, and does go into touch for the lineup. This is going to be fast-paced, this game, by the looks of it. And also, who's going to score the first try? Says Ed. I did go with Jonah Lowe, and then second try of the match is going to be scored by Scott Gregory. That's my prediction. I feel like that's a very bold prediction, but hopefully it is right. I have to wait and see. I'm doing a preview today, and there a premiere, I believe it would be from Brandon, and also 35-28 to the Canes, says Morcake for the prediction, and also 42-28 for the Highlanders, or for the Chiefs, I should say. And is it Ben May's 100th? It is indeed. He's been around for a very long time. Speaking of milestones, I believe it is actually Brodie Retallick's 50th game for the Chiefs at this point in time. Oh, no, sorry, it's Shannon Frizzell's 50th, I should have mentioned. That's going to be the penalty there. Ethan de Groot just going over the top of the breakdown, losing the footing. And now this will be a good opportunity now for the Chiefs. Ethan de Groot stuck in the middle of the Chiefs players. And he has just said sorry to the boys in there as well. But is it the Hurricanes' 100th game today? I don't believe it's the 100th game for the Hurricanes, but it is Ben May's 100th game. And he's been around for a very long time, Ben May, that is for sure. I don't know how long. When did that man start playing? Probably when I was born. He's 39, isn't he? Something along those lines. That one has been kicked for touch from Josh Ioane. So straight away we're seeing that the Highlanders have decided they want to play that aggressive style of rugby. New Zealand sides, they actually average a lot more tries per match than the Australians. I believe in Super Rugby Aotearoa, both sides averaging 3.1 tries in general, like all of the New Zealand sides on average. 22 metres out, Ioane is to take the carry. Xavier Rowe now, it's going to be another advantage. Peter Gus-Sowakula trying to break his way through. A good low tackle from Dixon. That's going back for another penalty. This one is a kickable 3 if they want to take it. Xavier Rowe considers going for the quick tap, but I believe they will be slowing this down. In Queenstown, I mean, even though there's a few clouds in the background, it's looking phenomenal for our ground. I hope the Chiefs are going to beat the Highlanders there. And do you guys have Milo in New Zealand? We do indeed. I think Milo is probably, what is it? We have the kind of Milo cricket at school, or it used to be Milo cricket anyway, how you kind of got to play cricket and avoid the Milo brand on it, but it's pretty much similar to Up and Go, isn't it? But not really. And also we've got there, not a huge fan of the new Sky Sports graphics in there as well. It's looking, I guess you could call it, it almost looks old-fashioned, doesn't it? If I'm not wrong, and they're so bland compared to the ones pre-2015 as well, says David there. And also welcome, says Katie Dixon to Aussie Mozzie. And also I got more big storms coming my way and thoughts on Samasoni's 50 games and how do you perceive him as a player? Is it Samasoni's 50th game? I didn't even realize he's been going for 50 games. So I guess he flew under the radar for quite a while, Samasoni Takiaho, but he's really starting to get his way towards playing extremely well. And that All Blacks opportunity for him, he just came onto the scene, and now a lot more people do know a bit more about him. I'd say if he can sort out the line-out throw, I guess you could say he'd it's the same with Asafa Mo. I feel like him and also Samasoni Takiaho are in the same boat. If they can get that line-out throw right, then all of a sudden they're like lethal, and they could become alongside maybe Cody Taylor as the World Cup front runners. I don't know whether or not Dane Coles will still be going for the 2023 World Cup. He probably will be trying to. Xavier Rowe now goes back to Ioane Ollie Norris. His first carry, in fact, it was Bradley Slater. Did have that one. Josh Ioane now. That man was charging through with the charge down very well. Mosisi Dawai waits for the ball to sit up for him. And he has now got it once again on the halfway line. Going to be held up here by Amoni Narawa. I don't believe the knees have touched the ground, so this becomes the maul. Now the Chiefs just have to try and stop this ball from being able to escape. And when you got Big Brody hanging onto you, you're not getting that ball out of there. And it is now the scrum for the Chiefs. And why did the Blues game get postponed? It was due to positive cases in the Moana Pacifica camp. I believe they had about 6 or 7 that we did have, and not too uncommon for players to hit 50 before they're old enough to buy alcohol in the US, as well, says David there. And also Hamish Bro doing morning breakfast right now, chicken with roti and with the tea as well, and you get refills, says more cake. Is that for the Milo cans? I think he did say a little bit earlier on. And also we have got there, hey Hamish, how's the Skieran guy? And there says David, he's good overall, or actually that would be a lie. He's quite flat at the moment. He's in my room and he is just sitting on the chair. Tell you what, we'll put him up in the corner, and this looks like a preseason game, says Cronies there. It does feel weird not having the crowd there, or the massive crowd that they would have liked. 919 kgs in the 4-pack of the Chiefs compared to the 899 of the Highlanders. The ball is available. Xavier Rowe will have to use it. Aaron Smith trying to put him under pressure. Great flat pass now out to Amoni Narawa. Looks for the offload. Mosisi Dawai kicks it forward. Does lose his footing now. It's a little bit greasy out there from an earlier bit of rain that we did have in Queenstown, but the sun is out now. I'm sure we'll be drying it out quite nicely. Kicked over the top from Rowe. Dropped by Sam Gilbert, but he has been able to regather. Did go backwards. Now kicking the ball back with a returning punt right down towards the 22 people at my school. Keep going home with it as well. Says a more cake. That ball's kind of just rolled very flat to the ground. Only 10 meters out from the line now. Josh Ioane making his way towards the 22, taking all of the time that he needs. Almost a spiral punt there. It has been put into touch about 40 meters out. And cheers, Hamish, as well, says David the Modern. What stadium is this game at? It is actually at a stadium that you may not have heard of. It is at Wakatipu Rugby Club, or unless it's Force Memorial Park in Queenstown. Is that another name for it? Oh, no, it will be Memorial Park in Queenstown. Sorry, not the Force side of it. But, yeah, that was a hard landing for whoever that was. I think they just threw Gareth Evans on the ground. I'm glad he landed all right, though, because that could have been ugly. Jonah Lowe now making his way forward. In fact, it was Josh Timu, trying to steal this one back. The Highlanders, though, this is one of their first attacking moves. And Jermaine Ainsley trying to make the most of it. Dragged down by Norris. Was up against him in the scrum. Smith going back down. Shannon Frizzell trying to run over the top for Tulipai, I believe, just losing his footing there. It's another advantage, and it's against number 13, Alex Nankerville. Did end up losing the footing to Garut now. Gives it off to Mitch Hunt. Little kick him behind. It's actually going to be the big man. And Manakai Selby Rickett trying to jump on that ball. It's going back for the penalty. I don't think it's two stadium. It's a rugby or a club rugby ground. And there's Simon Hughes. Yeah, I believe it is Wakatipu's home rugby club. And it was kind of cool seeing the changing rooms. And they used to have the national sevens here as well. And there says David. And also Wes McKenzie in this game. He's actually in Japan at the moment. So he will be nowhere to be seen throughout this whole Super Rugby season. And it's kind of like this over. I kind of like this over Nisba, as says David. Thank you very much, mate. Usually appreciate it. And the thing is, I absolutely love this format because, like, as the game is happening, I can tell you guys what's happening, but then I can also interact with you guys, which I feel like is something that you miss from the actual commentary kind of side of it. But I will recommend Super Rugby's YouTube channel if you want to see the highlights from after this game is completed. It looks like now Mitch Hunt will be lining up the free kick. the 3 points. I'm confused by his haircut. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know if it's a mullet. I don't know whether or not. Oh, no, it's just a little bit longer. It looks like he just hasn't been to the hairdressers for a little while there. For Mitch Hunt decided to grow it out. And also, we've got the kick out of this following Grossi and urinating tree during the NFLs. I got a kick out of this following Grossi and urinating tree during the NFL season, says David. And also, can they play in Orange Theory Stadium? Not for the first 3 rounds. All the games will be at Queenstown and also Dunedin at Forsyth Bar. That is where the game between the Crusaders and the Hurricanes will be taking place a little bit later on. Live streams are also a new fun way to watch games, says David. Exactly right. Like, it's something probably even 5 years ago that people wouldn't have thought of doing type thing, or even wouldn't have done. Mitch Hunt kicks that one, nails it down the middle, and now the score is going to be 3-3 in RP and Invercargill, by the way. And there says David Levin, also not a fan of Highlanders colours, says Jake. Yeah, they're wearing the Southland colours almost, I guess you could say, which will make Marty Banks feel right at home when he does make his way out onto the field for the second half. And also the Super Rugby season is strange, says Power Force. It is weird, but somehow they are still making it work. And I feel like as long as they keep on finding a way to be able to, I guess, keep all the games going. They did have one postponed, which is unfortunate, definitely because it was going to be the first game, but that's the only game. And that was actually transit getting to Queenstown. So that was the hardest part of the equation. Now Aaron Smith putting up the box kick from inside of his 22. It's going high. It's a good take in the end there from Amoni Narawa. Gets the number 15 jersey for this match. It's surprising that they went with him as 15 and Sean Stevenson out on the wing. It's a good kick in behind. Mitch Hunt nailed in a tackle by his teammate Josh Ioane. Of course, he will probably end up hearing quite a bit of chatter out there on the field for himself, playing up against his old side. And also, sorry, mate, you've probably been asked, but who would you expect to win? I believe coming into this match, the Chiefs were $1.40 favourites compared to $2.80 of the Highlanders. So they are the favourites after a very good preseason. They actually won all their games in preseason. Mone Narawa now trying to run it sideways. Doesn't quite get it right. Was it a turnover? No, still just not quite able to get the first turnover of the match in the breakdown. We've seen so many attempts. Oh, Aaron Smith straight through the middle. He's timed that to perfection. The young veteran. I call him young. He's a lot older than me, but he's still going very well for his side in the Highlanders. Shannon Brazel now having a bit of a wrestling match with Jonah Lowe. Does eventually drag him down 40 metres out now for the Highlanders. Malachi Selby-Rickett. Hunt now goes back. It's a good attack and run forward. I believe that one would have been Gareth Evans, who has had a haircut. Scott Greer, he is not. Still got the long hair. Jonah Lowe now sitting 30 metres out from the line. And it's another advantage. Alex Nankerville was a penalty magnet at the moment, unfortunately for him. It's the second time that he has been penalised in a breakdown. Evans goes back. Mitch Hunt now wide. Cut out pass. Nicely done. Quick hands from Lenchis out to Mosisi Dawai. Stepping on the inside. Looking for the offload. Does find it to Brazel. Once again, throwing it back. Oh, that's a bit rough. And now they are going to be going back for the original penalty. And okay, thanks, brother, as well. And I'll say any words about the new date/time for the Moana Pacifica versus Blues game. I assume at this stage they'll either try and fit it in as a midweek game, or maybe they will go with, I guess, maybe straight after the new rounds when you've got, I think they're going to have maybe 2 weeks or something, or they'll have to have some sort of time that they do have between the transit of New Zealand and Australia. So I assume they might play it then right at the start, perhaps. But Aaron Smith, 164 games for the Highlanders. 164. That's probably, like, that's more than about 4 or 5 players, like experienced players in a lot of teams. So it's a very impressive feat for them. And they have to keep the guaranteed money from Sky and Stan Sports as well, says Simon there. And also hopefully Otago can get the new rugby stadium, Atakoro get a new rugby stadium with a roof built the next 5 years in Christchurch. But yes, still loads of red tape as well. Plus Delziel is retiring. So new Mir soon. There you go. See, I feel like I don't really know too much about who's in charge of what region of the country. I hardly even know who's in charge around this joint. Well, I know that my parents are in charge, of course, for this household, but outside world, don't really know too much about it. I know it's raining at the moment, so probably not the best time to be out and about. Mitch Hunt now trying to line up this one to give the Highlanders a lead. Whatever the Christchurch rebuild agency name is, apologies. If it wasn't Atikoro, I have no idea. So I feel like I was taking your word for it. So hopefully it was the right one. But Mitch Hunt now 14 minutes into this game. This is flying by the moment. And we have still got 2 more games tonight. Chance strikes it. does go over, and now the score is going to be Highlanders sitting on 6 and the Chiefs sitting on 3 as well. And also the Donna Machine is in charge. She is indeed. Very much so. And she will be joining me for the next test match between New Zealand and South Africa, I believe. And I hope the Crusaders don't win the season. And now I think there can be a crowd for the Crusaders versus Hurricanes game. I think they're allowed a very small one, like maybe less than 1,000 people, I would have to say. Maybe even less than 100 or 100 exactly, just depending on the entrances that they do use for the ground. They're just going to make sure that they keep them well and truly away from the players, because you wouldn't want to have somehow a case popping in from the crowd to a player and then it just puts the whole competition on hold. That's going to be a penalty there. In fact, a little knock on. Now the scrum feed going to be going the way of the Chiefs on the 22. And I don't think this can be any crowd for any match in New Zealand for a couple of months as well. It's Simon and go Chiefs, says Katie. I believe everyone, by the looks of it, they've got some fences up and everyone has actually come down and watching from behind the fences, kind of outside of the stadium as well. I don't know whether or not they have to try and distance themselves when they're just standing out on the street, but I assume everyone who is watching the game like pretty much just has to be at a huge distance. So Forsyth Bar is a little bit probably trickier to look in through a fence, seeing as it's a massive building. But at the moment, I thought there were people on the roof for a second over there, but it's just a building. We're all right. But yeah, there's actually quite a few people in the car park who are watching this game from a distance. And also the Blues have a chance to win this season. They've certainly got a great team in the competition. Xavier Rowe now, they're trying to get this one rolling forward for the scrum. Peter Gus Sawakula back to Xavier Rowe with a good attacking run. He goes straight through. A good low tackle. Great offload. Sam Cane. Does he get it down? Is it still in the same movement? He does. Sam Cane, the captain, scores the first try of the match for the Chiefs. Yeah, well, that's a good way of doing it. Sam Cane, welcome back to the Chiefs. He's been able to score the first try. I don't think anyone would have predicted the first try from a New Zealand player in Super Rugby would have come from Sam Cane. The Chiefs try scorers. It was a great attacking run from Xavier Rowe. Pierces his way through. Brilliant offload to Alex Nankerville. Ball on the inside. And then Sam Cane gets driven over. And then it was actually, tell you what, that is great work from Amoni Narawa, who was able to help force Sam Cane down, because without him using that extra little bit of weight on top, that ball would not have gone down. With Aaron Smith trying to hold him up. Same with Sam Gilbert. Oh, just getting it down. I believe it is going to be the try, though. And also, will Ben O'Keefe make an appearance in the Crusaders game? Oh, it's a good question. I don't actually know which game he is in charge of in try chief, Sam Cane. And I know he's down as well. And interesting to see them going for the stick so early on. Very unlikely New Zealand teams to be so conservative. And also Sam Cane do the thing. And that would be kind of cool to be able to stand behind the fence and watch the game, free game. So that's his I'm exactly right. They can't charge you surely from that distance. Tell you what, that's quite slippery. There's a huge amount of water down the end, and I nearly didn't get it down, says David. Yeah, it was a tough one for Sam Cane. Had to work hard for it, but was able to get himself down. And now the Chiefs lead this game 10 points to 6, and they have got their first try. You do need 3 tries or more ahead of your opponent to be able to get yourselves the bonus point in Super Rugby Pacific. That's going to be the penalty for not rolling away. Josh Dixon trying his best, but ended up just getting in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this game is being played near my town as well, says Clubs there. So I guess that's a big thing. All of the games in the South Island for Super Rugby, and that probably has never happened for like the first few rounds of a Super Rugby competition. Definitely not, because we've only got the 2 sides from the South Island. So they've decided Queenstown as the way to go. So these games, I believe we're going to have 2 games played here per week, and then 1 at Forsyth Bar as the big game. Or maybe the Sunday game will also be at Forsyth Bar, one of the 2. And this game has been played near my town. And also, hi Kiwi, congratulations, New Zealand one, says Ryan. And of course, that was in the cricket for up against South Africa, throwing it in. Bradley Slater done nicely. One has gone down, but they have sacked it. So it is going to be all right. Brady Retallick underneath everyone there. But of course, he just keeps on going. They've got the penalty advantage there for not rolling away. And now a good hit up from Alex Nankerville, who is just willing to throw himself at the line if he needs to. Jonah Low, wide cutout pass out to Sean Stevenson. Now a bit of space down the wing. Does the kick in behind, but it is well covered in the end by Mosisi Dawai. He's been able to find the kick for touch. That's a huge boot that he has just done there. That ball's gone. Someone's going to have to go find that one. And yes, go the Chiefs. And then what hell did they score as well? This Power Force. It was off the set play from the 22. From a little handling error from the Highlanders. I said from about 50 times in that sentence, but they did end up having the scrum off the back. Xavier Rowe, offload to Nankerville, inside ball Sam Cane. scores it between the posts after a very good bit of effort from Sam Gilbert and also Aaron Smith to try and stop him from getting it down. That was going to be stolen there. Bit of hesitation from the Chiefs just outside of the 22, and because of it, Highlanders have been able to get this ball back. Now Shannon Frizzell, the line currently sitting about 10 metres out from their own 22, and it looks like Aaron Smith will be putting up the box kick now. And do you still have that Chiefs jersey? I do indeed. I was going to wear it for this game, but I was worried because of the fact that the Highlanders are closer to me in location that people might not be too happy about it. But that one, Xavier Rowe does well under the high ball, is able to get it back for his side. It's Sean Stevenson, looking as elusive as ever out on the wing. Like I mentioned, he can play fullback, he can play wing. Quintal Pai is known for his inside centre work. He has been told to release. He's got back up. No one was on him. So he was able to once again have another crack at it. Now it's going to be Sam Kane off to Imoni Narawa. Good attack and run, currently moving up to now 37 metres out. Peter Gus-Sowakula just popping the ball up for Ollie Norris to make an extra few metres post-contact. Peter Gus-Sowakula once again pouncing around the side of the breakdown. Xavier Rowe goes back. Now Josh Ioane, Lachlan McWennell tries to get the drawing pass but couldn't quite link up there. And now going back now to the right-hand side. Quick hands and Moni Narawa puts the ball down. And that is going to be the knock-on. Go the Chiefs. And there's his holding. And that was almost another try there for the Chiefs. Just couldn't quite hang on to it there for Imoni Narawa. And also, whereas Billy, the Chiefs are playing, and this is not mum. I think he is chilling out on a chair in the kitchen at the moment. He's got a chair that he just loves because there's a heater up on the wall, and he chooses the chair that's closest, and he just kind of flops over upside down and just chills out. On their 20 minutes gone already, Super Rugby is using faster minutes this year, says Katie Dixon. I would think so. Well, there's only Anton Leonard-Brown actually off the field for this match, but with the potential that they've got in the midfield, they've got plenty of depth in quite a few of their positions. But yeah, I've already found that I have had to talk extremely quickly throughout the first 20 minutes of this game. And also, we look at the LO live on Twitch. It's Pokemon Lava, I believe that would be. And just Googled, it is the same ground they have had the National Sevens until 2013. They've just done lots of renovations since then. Officially, it's recreation ground. And in there, because I believe, because it's actually, I guess the ground would be called that, isn't it? Whereas the rugby club with it is the Wakatipu Rugby Club, where they were in the changing rooms, etc. there. But at the moment, there's a hill in the background. I wonder if you're allowed to sit on that hill when they're allowed crowd. Surely you would be allowed. It's quite a steep hill. I don't want to fall down. And also then the Crusaders. And I'm happy that the Blues won the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman rather than the Crusaders. Says up Power 4. So I guess it's a big one because this year we're going to have the top 8 sides go through to the quarterfinals. Then you've got the semis and then you've got the finals. Luke Jacobson currently left ankle. Looks like it's given him a little bit of bother. Tackle completion, the Highlanders, they actually have one of the highest tackle completion numbers in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, currently going at 94%, only missing the 2 tackles. Chiefs have missed 3 out of their 20-plus attempts at the tackling as well. Currently, Luke Jacobson, this is probably the best time to be able to get a breather with how quickly this game has been going. They're showing him there. Big Kalen Boshier, he will be ready to go in the later stages. And also Samasoni Takiaho will be excited to make his way out there. Oh, it's actually knee for Luke Jacobson. Now, the last thing that any side want this early on in the season is an injury, because as soon as you have an injury, you got the Highlanders already who have about 5 going into the season, and then your squad gets drastically smaller. But currently, just showing there, Kalen Boshier looking like he's almost ready to come on if he is needed, but I believe Luke Jacobson will stick it out for a little bit longer. Kiwi Lads, Reed loves boys. And there, as well, says Ollie Wilson, good on Reed. At the end of the day, as long as Reed's happy, I feel like that's the main thing that you should be happy about for your friend as well. But currently 10 points to 6 for the Chiefs, 21 minutes through the game. And it is going to be 4 points difference between these two sides. If the one team that loses is within 7, they will get themselves a bonus point currently on the table. Your eyes do not deceive you. I will show you exactly who is sitting up the top. And you might be a little bit surprised, but of course, just because they have played their first game. Waratahs sitting at the top of the table, and they were able to get themselves a bonus point win over the Fijian draw as well. The 1 win out of 1 so far with Fijian draw. They've already got a minus 30 as their points differential, which is going to make it relatively tough. That's a big scrum there. As our women's Super Rugby season there is, and it is actually coming to us in about 3 weeks' time. It is going to be starting up. Hopefully, we will be able to do both competitions on the channel as well. So if you are new, be sure to stick around. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. So we have not just got Super Rugby, we also do the Six Nations, and also we have got plenty other competitions that we are going to be covering, such as the Gallagher Premiership, Top 14, URC, the Sevens. We actually cover the Seven Circuit on the channel. Xavier Rowe now off to Joshuani for Tulipaya. Able to make the tackle there. Now, once again, going back, Luke Jacobson. That will test out the knee there. Straight away, having to use it. Xavier Rowe, a little bit of a loose pass. Joshuani there trying to link up. Doesn't quite work out. It's a knock-on advantage there against the Y. First one by Red. Second one by the Chiefs. So it is going to be the scrum feed now for the Chiefs there. And also, he's happy. He's just been teasingly aware of the Blues playing next, or when are the Blues playing next, is Ollie Wilson. They have actually got a game next weekend, and that is going to be at 3:35. Yes, it is. And it is going to be the Blues taking on the Hurricanes. And that game should be a very good one. It is one that, like, that's the thing. All of the New Zealand derbies I just love seeing. All of the Australian derbies I love seeing, which makes me realize all of the games I love seeing. So, you know, we got the best of both worlds. 91 games of Super Rugby we are going to get to see here. Can't get much better than that. But currently, Queenstown scenery is certainly playing the part with the sun being out. I'm glad it's not pissing down with rain, because I feel like that would be unfortunate. Chiefs need another try, says Novmum. If they can get one, I'm sure they'll be very happy with it. Xavier Rowe now going back. Quintal Pye just playing a bit of crash ball. Trying to run straight over the top of Gregory. Joshuani, little chip in behind, looking for territory. 10 metres out now, it will be the line out of the Highlanders. No one back there to be able to stop that one from going into touch. And also, who's going to score the next try? Says Ed Vogel. It's a good question. I didn't predict Sam Cane to score the first one, so that's throwing me off big time. So I will say next try of this match. Luke Jacobson. We'll go with Liam Coleman goes to the back, or James Lynch's if it is the Highlanders. We'll go with one of those two. And now it looks like Aaron Smith will once again be able to kick this one, or in fact fire it back to Mitch Hunt, who does kick this one, who also goes to the bright yellow boot shop. Him and Sean Stevenson, I believe they are the only two who have the massively bright yellow boots. Everyone else has gone with either the white. I'll tell you what, it's brave wearing white out there, because as soon as you end up getting the muddy, they're just going to be brown boots. So you might as well have just gone in brown for the colour. And also, what would you rate Hurricanes New Jersey? I do like the yellow, just because I do like yellow anyway. So no matter how bad it looked, if it was yellow, I'd probably say it's all right. So anyway, but it does look very crisp for them. The Chiefs one's looking very nice. Currently, the Chiefs going to be Xavier Rowe firing the ball back. Like they're saying, the recycling of the ball is extremely quick. It's going to be Alex Nankabau now. Josh Iwani tries to flick it out the back. Jonah Lowe picks it up. Cece Dawai, though, I want to make the tackle on him. Currently now, a lot of pressure being put on for the breakdown, but still hanging on to it. Lachlan McWannell. Couple more meters being made. Xavier Rowe going to the short side out to Amoni Narawa, who has been joining the line quite often throughout the early stages of this game. We're 25 minutes in already, and this game is absolutely flying by. Peter Gusto Akuli ends up dropping that one. James Lynch now picks it up. Now Aaron Smith, the counter-attack is on for the Highlanders. Plenty of space. Scott Gregory, though, takes it on himself, does get tackled. And now going back, it is Shannon Brazil out to Jermaine Ainsley, who's running like he's a back. He's selling dummies as well, but James Lynch just puts the ball down. Josh Ioane fires it back to Amoni Narawa. Does put the kick in behind. Could be a 50-22 here. No, the ball just pulls up because it is quite damp. It goes just outside of the 20. Hello, everyone. Missing all 3 games today. Unfortunately, just popped into Wish Happy Rugby. To you all, see you soon, Sebastian. So we will see you later on, mate. And yeah, I hope you are doing well. And also, what would you even call that color? Turquoise? A little bit, I guess. It's almost, I guess it's maroon, if that is. I guess it's very similar to the Queensland Maroons for State of Origin. Go Mighty Chiefs, says Stanley there. And also, I love their new bluish green jerseys. They are beautiful. Oh, okay, for the Highlanders. Oh, sorry, for the Hurricanes, I guess that would be. And also, hi, bro. It seems all usual suspects are in the feed today, lol. Says that David the Mob, but now Josh Dixon. But a pressure being put on. I think he's gone straight through the middle there. And he has been able to do it illegally. So it is going to be the penalty against him for Lachlan McWannell, just getting it slightly wrong. And also, we have got the I am sure I'm going to be a dad. As well says Scott Jones. Congratulations, mate. I had so many jokes that I could have said there, but I am happy for you. Congratulations. And yeah, hopefully have got a healthy baby on the way. And I, bro, it seems all the usual suspects. Oh, no, I read that one. And have a good one, brother. And there says Katie Dixon. We're currently now mid-hunt. Be kicking it for the touchline. 26 minutes into the zone. Congrats, brother. And there from Katie Dixon. Into touch. Nicely done. And now the Chiefs, they are going to be about 28 meters out from their line. We'll go. In fact, it's probably closer to 31 if we're being completely specific. We'll go 31. So currently, there's going to be 4 points difference still between these two sides. Liam Coltman looking straight into the sun, having to try and line this one up, work out where they are going. Throwing it straight down the middle. Brody Retallick not able to turn it over. Josh Dixon able to claim it instead. Mitch Hunt flat ball to Shannon Frizzell. Now tries to pierce his way forward. Sam Kane trying to hold him up. Tackle release is the call from the referee. Scott Gregory now goes back. Short ball from Josh Ioane. In fact, it was Mitch Hunt. Sorry, I'm used to seeing Josh Ioane in their number 10 jersey. Masisi Dawai just tried to kick that one, and he kicked it straight into the tree trunk of a leg of Sione Mafaleo. So now the ball is back on the side of the Chiefs, kicking it in behind now. Bit of space down the middle. Sam Gilbert takes it nicely. The shadow is just starting to come over the ground now. And because of it, it's looking like the colours are becoming more similar. It's going to be sitting up nicely. Josh Timu takes it nicely, tries to get back up to his feet. And now Aaron Smith, it's going to be knocked on by Fatuli Paya. And now they have got the knock-on advantage here. And also, I wish I could I can be a mod for you, Hamish, as well. And this here, Scott Jones there as well. I mean, that's the thing. Once we do end up needing like more mods, it is you guys who have been around for a while that will end up getting the nod type thing for that one. And congratulations, brother. And also, hi, Hamish, who do you think will win the match? Says Stanley. At this stage, I did say the Chiefs at the start, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Highlanders sneak a win here. Tries to get back up to his feet. Quinton Paya wasn't quite able to do so. Straight over the ball. It's another advantage, though, and it's another penalty in the breakdown. Gareth Evans disappointed with that one. His first action, you need to be lifting, is the call from the referee. As Josh Law playing, he is not for this game. They have actually got Natawa Akoi will be coming off the bench, and Lachlan McMahon on debut starting alongside Brody Retallick. So they are the two that they have got for their locking department. A player leaving feet, Gareth Evans penalised there, and now Josh Ioane once again will be able to kick this one for the touchline. So good kick. It's gone onto the ceiling, or onto the roof, I should say, of the building as well. But currently the Chiefs, they're playing a lot of crash ball with the likes of Quinton Paya, and also I believe Alex Nankivell, anytime he has had a chance, has also just thrown himself in the line. They've gone to the front there to their number 4, McWennell. Now off Josh Ioane. A little bit of a cheap shot on him from Aaron Smith with a late push on him. Just to kind of tell him, hey, mate, why'd you go to the Chiefs? Or why cut our pass? Sean Stevenson, he's about to show them why he went to the Chiefs. Tries to go on the inside. But doesn't quite find the pass. Almost Liam Coltman's ball. Xavier Rowe now goes back. Luke Jacobson. Great tackle. It's going to be another advantage now in favour of the Chiefs. Big Brody Retallick trying to get in motion. It's going back for the penalty. 4 and 5. Josh Dixon and also Manakai Selby Rickett both getting offside there. And this one would be straight out in front for the Chiefs if they did want to give themselves a 7-point lead, unless, of course, they decide that they want to kick it for the corner. Try and ramp it up a little bit more. Keep that pressure on. Turnovers conceded at the moment. 6 for the Highlanders, 5 handling errors and 5 penalties conceded, which are not numbers that will make Tony Brown too happy, the head coach. Looks like he has got the T in hand. So they are going to be going for the 3-pointer here. See how it does end up going. Currently 30 minutes this game has been going. And also going for the postseason of Mum. Yes, indeed. So this will give them a 7-point lead. Still isn't a huge one to have up against the Highlanders because they can turn a game around instantly. That's a nice yawn early on in the day. I guess we've been up for a little while. We did stay up relatively late last night preparing these live streams as well. So hopefully there won't be too many more yawns coming throughout the day. But 31 minutes through and Sam Kane finally back and scored the first try of the match as well. That one has gone over from Josh Ioane, and now the score is going to be 13 points to 6, I should say, in favour of the Chiefs. And at the moment, Clayton McMillan will be pretty happy with that one, although it doesn't look like he's got too many smiles on his face. Currently, it's still too close in this game. The Chiefs would like themselves another 2 tries that would at least give them a chance at a bonus point. Liam Coltman at the moment, he's sucking in some big ones there. Liam Coltman looks like he is a bit fatigued, but as it is the first game of the regular season, and this game has been played at a frantic pace, like both sides are going to be tested for that gas tank of whether or not they can dig deep. Ollie Norris now trying to straighten with the run. In fact, it was Bradley Slater. They look very similar. Those two. Xavier Rowe goes back to Josh Ioane. Has put up the kick. It's a little bit of an awkward falling one. Mosisi Dawai, though, drops to his knees and takes it beautifully. Moni Narawa, I don't believe he was on his feet there. Gareth Evans now goes back. Peter Gusto, I call his opposite number. Able to make the tackle there. Aaron Smith now short ball from Josh Dixon. Once again, Smith with the wide cutout pass. It's a good run forward. Oh, it's a big hit on Josh Timu, I believe. If I'm not wrong, he played for Manawatu in the Bunnings NBC. Maybe Aaron Smith might have had a bit of a word. He's just knocked that ball. No, it went back. It went backwards. As the goal, Xavier Rowers kicked that one in behind. This could be a 50-22, and it is brilliant kick from the young halfback. And now it is going to be the line-out throw for the Chiefs. And he's cool, calm, and collected at the moment, Xavier. And also 50 watching Watching 30 likes Body Slam. Like button, y'all, much appreciated. And yeah, if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are going to be back with the two other games that are happening today. The Crusaders taking on the Hurricanes, and then also the other game, it is going to be the Reds taking on the Rebels. Hopefully the voice does stick around throughout all the matches. We have got water just in case. We will be drinking it throughout of these live streams. Chiefs, a little bit rough there with the line out. And it did end up dropping down out of the hands of, I think it was Big Brody Retallick who put that one down. Just a little bit of an overthrow. I say, how come the Blues didn't play it? It's because Moana Pacifica had a number of positive cases in their camp. So because of that, they weren't actually able to have that match take place in 50-22 for the Chiefs. Nice. Says Novum. Yeah, that new rule that was added in, I believe it was halfway through the last Super Rugby, wasn't it? Well, actually just before the Bunnings NBC. And knock on, come on, Chiefs. Says Novum. But currently they are showing the mountains in the background. It is a very nice region of the country for Queenstown. Although the in-goal area, I don't know how good the drainage system is for this ground, because the in-goal areas have been torn up at the moment. And I assume that's why they've decided just the first 3 weeks are going to be in Queenstown, because or else then the pitch will just be non-existent. Currently now, it's going to be the scrum feed. And they haven't really been able to go forward too much there. So because of it, they do have to use it. Mitch Hunt going back. That's a rough kick, I believe. Did it hit Sam Cane? No, it didn't. It was just huge pressure from Sam Cane. And because of it, Mitch Hunt had to kick it pretty much straight sideways for that one. Now, because of it, Sam Cane, he will be very happy with the way that this one is going for his Chiefs boys early on. 20 metres out and the line out throw. This is almost where they were for the 50-22. This time, they'll be wanting to make sure it goes straight into the hands of the receiver. It's going to be Brody Retallick. It is not. It's going to be going to Jacobson, but they did end up losing that ball once again. I believe Manakai Selby Rickett was able to get up and turn that one over. Now Aaron Smith passing it back. Or is he? No, he is going to go for the box kick himself here. Try and get a little bit of extra meterage on it. Is that a real word? Meterage? Now Sean Stevenson fires it across quickly as it did find touch. Cross kick opportunity. Risky business. But it does sit up beautifully for Alex Nankabell. Now fires the ball back at Moni Narawa with a good attacking run. The ball's popped out though. And now Liam Coleman going for a big run to the halfway line, driving his way forward, the big man in the number 2 jersey for the Highlanders. Now Mitch Hunt, wide cutout pass out to Scott Gregory. Does find one more pass out to Tawai. One-on-one with Sean Stevenson. That's a check, and that's going to be a penalty, I would think. He changed his line, got smacked in the face. Mosisi Tawai. Okay, maybe not. They're just going to say it's all fine. And so I think he kicked this one. How much does Sean Stevenson change his line here? Yeah, nah, that's a penalty. It's probably going to be a yellow card. No, they're going to say carry on. Am I watching the same game? Now they have got the line out here. Currently 45 metres out. How's the game looking so far? Fast-paced, very fast-paced. My voice is going to be gone tomorrow after doing the 3 matches, but currently the Chiefs trying to get that rolling maul going. It's been a stalemate at rolling maul, scrum time, and also line-out time. It has been very competitive. Now going forward, Sam Gilbert not able to take it, and it's a knock-on against him. Now because of it, now another scrum feed going the way of the Chiefs. Is it just me, or did they brush over that one that Sean Stevenson kind of might have done something to Masisi Dawai very, very quickly, or is that just me? It did look like something that might have been worth another look. Like, that's from an impartial point of view as well. So I don't know what was going on. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Don't know. Currently 37 minutes through this game, and it is going to be once again the Chiefs in a good attacking position to be able to go on and possibly get themselves another opportunity at a try. Currently now fed in. Once again now Xavier Rowe looking to the short side. Joshuani wide cut out pass out to Jonah Lowe now. That's an awkward way of tackling, and now it's going to be the penalty. Double blow of the whistle. Just wait. I believe his legs ended up getting swooped up by Sam Dixon. Dangerous tackle as a goal. And what do you think? The Landers going to score a try before halftime? Or do you think the Landers will score a try before halftime? It's going to be tough for them. 2.5 minutes. More than likely the Chiefs will be able to get themselves one. And what's your favorite color? My favorite color is yellow, which is why I do enjoy. It's an interesting one for Sam Gilbert. The way he did that, he almost put him in the walls of Jericho, the way that he bent his back around, put him in a Boston Crab. But now at this stage, Bradley Slater with the line out throw, 5 meters out, not taken cleanly by the Chiefs. So once again, mistake at line out time. And now they have been able to get this ball back. 2 minutes left of this half. Aaron Smith goes back into the pocket. And Mitch Hunt does go for the spiral punt downfield, does find touch, and it has gone on the roof again. They'll be getting sick of that if the ball keeps on getting stuck up there. Okay. It's obstruction against 3 red, Jermaine Ainsley with a shoulder charge. So now the Chiefs get the penalty. Nothing is going the Highlanders' way at this point in time. An obstruction once again. It's been their downfall. I don't know what the penalties conceded is against them at this point in time, but I think it's about 9 or something along those lines. Maybe we'll get the stats up at halftime so that you guys know exactly how it is sitting, but it is certainly punishing for the Highlanders to keep on giving away the penalties for things they don't really need to give away penalties for as well there. And also we've got there, it feels like 15 minutes, not 40. Exactly right. Like, I don't know where that first half went. The second game between the Hurricanes and the Crusaders is probably going to go even quicker, which is a shame because then we will only have one more game left of the night. And then, I mean, that will be a good one as well. Reds versus Rebels for that other matchup. So hopefully it is a good matchup. And we do see plenty of tries by Peter Gasawa-Kola going to the short side, leaping over the top and scores the try there for Peter Gasawa-Kola. And he was able to score the try there. Brilliant try for the big man. And that is going to be the second try of the match now. So, Kola, there we go. I always spell his name wrong, but I believe I've got it right that time. Peter Gasawa-Kola scoring it in the 39th minute of the half. He goes on the right-hand side, or the left-hand side, in fact. He actually hurdles over a player. I'm not too sure who it was, and yes, we needed that. Says no, Mamo. He went straight over the top of Aaron Smith, who tried to make the tackle on him. He actually ended up almost cleaning up the touch judge. That one, Aaron. But Peter Gasawa-Kola, because of the scrum collapsing like they're saying, it was actually made it even more difficult for Shannon Vergao and also Nico Potius. 1 gold. I did see that. We have got another Kiwi who has been able to get a gold medal at the Winter Olympics, which is always very nice to see fellow Kiwis doing well. 39.5 minutes gone in this match so far for the Chiefs and the Highlanders. So I would say the Chiefs will give themselves... Oh, this is a hard kick, though. It's not the easiest kick in the world. It's not the toughest, but it's certainly not going to be an easy, just put it straight down the middle model. Currently now 7 seconds left in this half. Chiefs sitting on 18. The Highlanders sitting on 6. And Josh Ioane going to be lining up this one. I'm going to try and stay up for the Reds Rebels game, but it's on at like stupid o'clock in the morning for me. That's a calf missed out to the left-hand side. And because of it, it does mean at halftime, the score is going to be 18 points to 6 in favor of the Chiefs. So they are currently the favorites to be able to go on and win this game by quite a bit. In fact, we've still got time, I believe. Yes, we do. Now that's the siren. I think that's just someone with an ear horn, and that's going to be kicked into touch by Amoni Narawa. And now it's at halftime, 18 points to 6. And who's the home team for this game? It's actually the Chiefs, even though it is at a random kind of location in the South Island. So it's actually not even in the same island as the Chiefs' home ground, but It is going to be considered as a Chiefs home game for this matchup. And what time is it for you now? Says another mum there. Currently, the Chiefs, they have got themselves a little bit of a lead early on in this game. 18 points to 6. We will get some stats up for us in this game. One moment. We go like this. And we go like this as well. Super Rugby. There we go. And also what's highlights for the first half? I would say, first one is probably, one of the highlights is probably actually the line out of the Highlanders stealing so many of the balls from the Chiefs. Another good, actually, no, I take that back. Sam Cane's try, I think, has to be the highlight of the half, the way that he went through the middle of the offload. And then also it was a set piece almost from Xavier Rowe off the back. And also 9:21 p.m. for me. And on 18th of February, and rate both teams' performances. I would say for myself, Chiefs get about a 7 and Highlanders. I'm going to be harsh. I don't want to be harsh, but I got to be harsh. They are going to get a 4 from myself, just because they don't seem like they've quite been able to find their feet as of yet. They've given away, it says only 6 penalties, but it seems like a lot more than that. And a few of those ones has been for maybe things that could be well and truly avoided if they do end up just watching that discipline a little bit more. Still 40 minutes to go, but looking good so far, says the penny there. And yeah, currently a good lead for the Chiefs. 2 tries, Sam Cane and Peter Gus-Sowakula. So all in the loose forward trio for this matchup. And that will be like 3 a.m. the Reds Rebels game for you. Says no mum. Yeah, so it'll certainly be a late night one. Yeah, looking forward to it. Because at the end of the day, that game, I feel like the Rebels are going to try and really cause an upset, even though it's going to be extremely tough to do for that one. We'll have to wait and see how it does end up going. And I wasn't expecting that score, says David the Mod. Yeah, were you expecting it more in favour of the Highlanders, or were you expecting it a little bit more in favour of the Chiefs? Do let me know. Or maybe a bit closer. It is currently one of those games that could, with one try, just get broken open. We'll look at the benches that these two sides have got for this game. For the Chiefs, first of all, Samasoni Takiaho, also Atumoli and Angus Ta'aval are going to be the front row replacements. Natoa Koi, Kalen Boshia almost needed in the later stages of that first half due to an injury to Luke Jacobson, but he, of course, got some tape, strapped up the knee, and he was like, we're all good. We're going to keep on running around all over the place. Kalen Boshia is going to be possibly, I guess, maybe they'll use him a little bit earlier, though, if it does help them out. Brad Weber, he is going to be number 21, a great experienced player to have later on. Xavier Rowe, though, in that first half has been going very nicely. Bring Gatland as a replacement for Josh Ioane, and then Chase Tiatia can slot in on either the wing or fullback if he is required. Andrew Makaleo, Daniel Leonard-Brown, and Josh Honick are going to be the front row replacements. Bryn Evans and Marino Makaeli Tu'u. Palau Whakatawa back from a long layoff with injury. Marty Banks in the almost Southland colours at the moment, I guess you could say, with the away kit of the Highlanders. And then Thomas Umanga Jensen, his brother, going to be playing a little bit later on. Excited to see how the Fijian Drua team develop this year, says Neville. Yeah, it's going to be awesome seeing them and Moana Pacifica both kind of make their way up through the rankings as well. See where they do finish. West Ham McKenzie is in Japan at the moment playing for those big dollars. Same with Ash Jackson and the Chiefs, buddy, and 20 points as well. Says David the Mod, and also we missed you, Jess, and also the Chiefs are beating the Highlanders. I'm so happy. I hope you are enjoying the game, Hamish. What time are you doing Crusaders versus Hurricanes game? And also, have you heard of Abel the winner takes it all? I believe I have heard it. It's on a soundtrack of a movie, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. But the the Hurricanes versus Crusaders game, I believe we are starting at about 6:40, somewhere around there. So in an hour and 10 minutes time, and surprised how conservative both teams have been on a dry track in summer. Not as much running rugby, although I believe there was a massive downpour just before the game. So that is why in the in-goal for Sam Cane's try, it was just it was pretty much being on a water slide. All those guys, he somehow managed to get it down, though. And great try from Gus-Sowakula, and a great that the Chiefs kept him as well. I thought he might have gone to Moana Pacifica. And if they didn't use him, he wouldn't have hesitated to go, I don't think, because at the end of the day, to be a part of Moana Pacifica for the very first time, that they have played in Super Rugby, I feel like that's a special feeling for those as well. But the Chiefs so far, 2 tries compared to the 0 of the Highlanders, 203 metres carry compared to the 167 as well. We'll mention there. And defenders beaten 4-4 for both of these two sides. And the man, the myth, the legend, Marty Banks, sculling a can of spades after kicking his conversion. What a lad as well. Says Johnny Blazing, greeting. Says that Johnny, welcome into Livestream I. Hope you are doing well. The Chiefs currently sitting 12 points ahead of the Highlanders. Okay, what team are you going for in this game, Hamish, as well, says Carlos? I would say at this stage, the Chiefs should win, but the Highlanders have got the ability to be able to fight back. And hey, Cuties, as us, says Petty Wagger, welcome in. The lies around Hank you. And as they just want a little bit of fight back from the Highlanders, says Hank. So I guess, big question, who's going to be the player for the Highlanders that do kind of lead that fight back? I'm going to say, the thing is, Folau Fakatava, when he comes on the field, I feel he's going to have an impact, but I don't think they'll use him till about the 70th minute. And that young Chiefs halfback has had a great game, and that would be Xavier Roye. He's looking sharp. They got rid of Te Taroa Tahuriarangi for them, or Triple T, as he is probably better known as. He actually went to the Crusaders, not getting to play in the game later on, though. And will there be finals for Super Rugby Pacific, or whoever leads the table wins? So luckily, this year we've got an awesome format. It is going to be the top 8 sides are going to be going through to the quarterfinals, then the semi-finals, and then the final as well. And you don't even have to have it that it's like 3 New Zealand, 3 Australian sides. It can literally be all of the teams from one country or all of the teams from the other, I guess, as well. But anyone who doesn't know how the table is sitting at the moment, the Waratahs sitting on top of the bunch, as Johnny just said, they have got themselves, they got the bonus point as well. So all you got to do is the top 8, the top 4 get themselves, I guess you could say, the home final, which is why it is lit up in the slightly lighter green, or the slightly more popping green. What would that be called? Vibrant? No. I can't speak. Saturated? No. Exposed green? No, that sounds like something else. The brighter green, this one here, slightly more prominent. And also, what both teams need to improve, and what exactly they're lacking earlier. I would say line-out time for the Chiefs has been a problem. They haven't quite been able to get that one right. And the Highlanders, the discipline is the other side of it as well. And it's like that OMC song, How Bizarre, as well. And they're in dark, says Chris. And also the boys, and there says David the Mod to Paddy Wagon and Johnny Blaze. It's also having all you regulars back for like the live streams when it comes to the rugby, looking through at the future results or the future fixtures that we are going to be having as well. These 2 sides, Highlanders, they have the Crusaders next week, and the Chiefs, they will be taking on Moana Pacifica if that game can take place, which at this point in time, I believe it will be able to. Currently, other stats to look at: Highlanders 5 offloads compared to the 4 of the Chiefs. Only 3 missed tackles for the Highlanders. That is something that they did very well in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman 2021, and also Super Rugby Aotearoa. Very high tackling success rate. 67 tackles made, 3 missed, compared to the Chiefs. 48 tackles made, 4 missed, which actually still isn't too bad on their side of things as well. Looking through at a few of the best players in terms of meters made, defenders being, etc. Moni Narawa having the most out of any players for the Chiefs, 36 meters, and then 42 meters for Mosisi Dawai of the Highlanders has been going very nicely. Jermaine Ainsley, honourable mention there. The tight head prop has run 27 meters in this game. And then also most tackles made, Shannon Frizzell and Liam Coltman sharing it. But Liam Coltman also having a turnover one for himself there as well. We have got there. I can't find Sky Sport 4 on Sky Go. What channel? Warriors on Sky Sport Select, I believe, have the Warriors. If I'm not wrong, the lime green as well, says Neville there. And also, hey, says Kyle, welcome into Livestream, mate. Hope you are doing well. No, hey, howdy. Hey, brothers, how you do? Says Katie. But yeah, at the moment, the Warriors, they are actually playing, aren't they? In a very short moment, they have got their game at 6 p.m. up against the Melbourne Storm. That's going to be a tough game for them, but we will probably end up keeping you guys updated with the scores in those NRL preseason games that are taking place. Currently, for anyone who is wondering about the NRL preseason, 31 minutes away from that game starting between Melbourne and the Warriors as well. But this is actually currently the only game that is going on for rugby around the world. We have got a few games of the Gallagher Premiership, URC, etc., Curry Cup as well that will be taking place at random hours of the night. And also the Japanese Top League is going to be starting relatively soon, I believe, for another match, or as it's called now, League One. I have decided to name it. But currently we are sitting very close to the second half getting underway. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we have got plenty more action coming in the near future, including all the games of Super Rugby Pacific. Every single one will be covered on this channel. Hi, Scrum Lass. I'm great. Thank you. I hope all is well on your end as well. I don't know why I said on your end so weird, but it was weird, wasn't it? But yeah, currently must be sitting closer to 10 in the US. I always, time zones are not my thing. 10:30, are you sitting, or are you still 9:30? Scrum Lads, do let me know. And also, do you reckon the Landers will fight back and tight the score? Says Ed. I think my original prediction was within 7 for this game. And at this point in time, I believe it will either be the Chiefs by probably 15, or the Highlanders will get it within 7. in terms of that score, but I can see the Chiefs doing pretty well in the second half. They seem to be, I guess, other than line-out time, they've been the more structured side in their attack, and it would be possibly the case in the later stages. Get this, Hamish, believe it or not, I went to school with the dads, so Caleb Trask and Te Toroa Tahuri Orangi, and also Richard and Pay, respectively. That's pretty awesome that you have actually gone to school with a few of them. How big was your school, David? Do let me know. And Chiefs wingers are going okay, but I miss not seeing Sean Winery out there as our Sestapena. Yeah, that is one that is certainly, like, that's the thing. The Chiefs will be playing with a lot of emotion in this season, I would think, because at the end of the day, like, players end up leaving the side to go overseas. And I guess you make signings accordingly. But to have a player pass away is just a whole different level of, like, kind of having to replace a player type thing. And also, will we see 40 points more scoreboard? I think so. I think we will see a total of around that 45 mark. Well, that's cool, brother. I bet they are great lads in there. And also, all good on my end because I'm sitting on my rear end. Yeah, yet. Says Katie. I feel like I didn't say that in the best way. I sit there. Okay, geez. Okay. I'm not going to read that one out. And now currently second half just around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, how did your date go yesterday, Johnny? Curiosity, do let me know. And I missed Sean Wino as well. Says, yeah, it will be one that is still fresh on the minds of a lot of teams and also a lot of people in the rugby community. Currently, the Chiefs doing very well, 12 points up, and also OMFG. Wow, says Katie Dixon. See, I feel like that's the thing. If he had said that to anyone else, that wouldn't have been the reaction I wouldn't have thought. But you're very chilled out, so it's good. So Rotorua Lakes High School, smallest high school in Rotorua, maybe 500 at the time. Okay, so not a very large one at all. And who's going, who do you go for, Storm versus Warriors? I mean, the Warriors are the New Zealand team, but I think Melbourne Storm will be able to win that one. And hey, Katie says, how are you doing, by the way, Hamish? Stevenson has done nothing impressive today. And the only thing that was the most impressive from that man was the shoulder charge that he got away with, I would say. And also of the mighty Chiefs. So more than likely, they might actually take him off for Chase Tiatia at some point in the second half. Unfortunately, up the mighty Chiefs, says man stand at the moment. They are leading this game up against the Highlanders. The first game of the Super Rugby Pacific competition in New Zealand that we are going to get to see. The second game taking place in a very short moment, and that is going to be at 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time, and that will be Crusaders taking on the Hurricanes. So be sure to stick around for that next match. Then after that one, straight into it, we are going to be going into the Reds taking on the Rebels with some very good players, both of those sides. Chiefs, 2 tries so far, Sam Kane, and also Peter Gus Sawakula, the other one, was able to score. How's your weekend been, Katie? And also Uncle Gamble Bags is here. How you do, says Katie there. Currently the people watching on. Okay, they're actually almost on the roof there in Queenstown. I feel like it's a perfect location to be able to watch a bit of rugby as well. And you don't have to pay for it because they probably own that building, I would think, more than likely. But currently the position and territory both going in favour of the Chiefs for that first half. And stop banging me out as well. It says Aiden. And currently 18 points to 6. At the moment, they're talking to the assistant coach, Clark Durbany, who is in charge there. And also, shortly, Simi Radrado and Joshua Torsova can play for Fiji and Drill. I would love to see it, although I don't know whether or not the budget would allow for both of them. So I guess that's a question. If you had to pick one of those two, who are you going to go with? You're only allowed one. The other one is never allowed to play for them. That seems harsh, doesn't it? But that's going to be the rules. Although date was okay, mate. I took Mrs. out to the Waikato River, packed some dinner. I had my first glass of red wine and drove home slightly tipsy, as says Johnny Blaze. And then I took a shower today. I don't feel like a filthy rat anymore. So, yeah, my weekend is going pretty good so far. And come on, Chiefs. Says it Rugby H there. Welcome into the live stream, mate. At the moment, the Chiefs sit them very nicely, 12 points ahead. And also, we have got there the fire, the wine, the car, and is that the coffee, I assume that is, as well. And Joshua Torsova on the wing, what a player. And then Semi Radradra from Kyle. So I guess splits opinions of who you would go with. I have a question for you, Kyle. What if it was like, hey, you can have Joshua Torsova and you can also have his brother who plays in France. So you're allowed both of them, but you're not allowed Semi Radradra. Would you still go Radradra or would you go with the two Torsovas? Although his last name for his brother is not Torsova, just to confuse you a little bit more. They look pretty identical, those two, but currently now Joshua, he will be kicking off this one from right to left for the second half of this match between the Chiefs and the Highlanders for Super Rugby Pacific Ethan de Groot, he's been relatively quiet in the first half as well. To be fair, Kalen Boschia out on the field. That is for Luke Jacobson. So obviously that knee is still playing up a little bit. Taken nicely by Gareth Evans. Run straight at Quintupaya. Being able to make the early tackle and currently just outside of their own 22. A big question. I've already placed my bets. Just curious, Crusaders or Hurricanes, Hamish. And there says Aiden. Okay, I would say for myself, that's big contact there. Everyone's gone down. James Lynch is now spinning his way out of the tackle, and Amoni Narawa has been able to drag him down. I'll go the Crusaders in a close game. Since it's away from home for them theoretically, I don't think they'll be as effective as they are at Orange Theory Stadium. And Canes. And there says Katie Dixon kicked him behind. Once again, looking for maybe a 50-22. No, Sean Stevenson taking it, passes it back across field. And that one's gone up. Josh Ioane not getting a huge amount of distance on that. And now the Highlanders have got a good opportunity to keep the attack going. And Canes, says Katie Dixon, and maybe both brothers, depending on how many games, as well, says Kyle. And also that Kasava and Carver muscle was out to Asova and Rodrara for that one from Johnny Blaze. But yeah, two very strong individuals, to say the least, about those two. One moment, the scoreboard has decided. There we go. It has woken up. They've gone to the front there to Shannon Frizzell. Just looking for the offload. Not quite able to find it. Lachlan McWhannell trying to get over the ball. Gareth Evans now. It looks a little bit foggy from a distance, but I think that's just a smudge on the lens, which is relatively annoying. But now it's going to be the big number 23. Thomas Umaga Jensen. So I wonder who he came on the field for. It might have been Fatuli Paya. I'm just looking around to see who else we have lost for the Highlanders, but both sides actually deciding to make subs. Right, Fatuli Paya is still out there, so I think that is for Scott Gregory. Going to be a loose ball. Sean Stevenson, he almost had it. No, Scott Gregory still out on the field. Who was at number 15 for them? Number 15 was Sam Gilbert. I think it's for Sam Gilbert. Maybe. I don't know who else it could be. Or it might actually be maybe Mosisi Dawai or Timu. Who did he come on the field for, Thomas Umaga Jensen? He's out there. I know that much. But I don't know who he's out there for as a Spark Sport free trial to watch rugby, because that's a lot of money of money. A lot of money. Says Kyle. So unfortunately, Spark Sport, I assume we're talking Sky Sport. They don't actually, I think they do have weekend passes, but also maybe you get like a 14-day free trial if you're lucky. I don't think they give out too many though. And Johnny has said Canes forever. And there says John Zaire going for them in the next game. Sky Sport is showing Super Rugby believe you can get a 7-day. Geez, that's a bit stingy, isn't it? They're going to pay $40 for Super Rugby, or $40 for a month. And they're like, you can have 7 days on us, I guess, just for fun. 42 minutes gone in this game at the moment. It's going to be fed in now by the Chiefs, rolling it back nicely. They have been told to use it now. Peter Gustoacola going to the short side, kicked him behind from Xavier Rowe, looking for the space. Sam Gilbert still out on the field. Who is he on the field for? I think it is for Timu, but I don't want to say it is just in case it's not. But I believe he is on the field for Timu. And I'm sticking with that answer just for now. Josh Timu off the field. Maybe. Wait a second. Also pray the Hurricanes win. And everyone Cruising Boy 123. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. Okay, I don't see Mosisi Dawai. And I also don't see Timu out there. That's going to be stolen by the Chiefs now at line-out time. Nicely done. Sam Kane now passes it wide out to Quintupaya. Was the first receiver straight on the ball, though, for the Highlanders. It's a penalty. Xavier Rowe has to give that ball to Aaron Smith. And Sky Sport been ripping off Kiwis since forever. So I'll see Johnny Blaze. We were actually talking about it for the cricket yesterday. And, like, it was an interesting one to see how it did end up kind of starting, I guess you could say. And dang it, I want a 7-day free trial. But yeah, it was, I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh yeah, we were talking about it on the cricket. That was, my mind went completely blank there. But pretty much, we were saying about how it used to be free to air to watch sport on TV in New Zealand, but now you're not allowed to, unfortunately. I started to see Caleb Clark back in action, says Neville. But currently now, it is going to be Mitch Hunt lining up actually the three-pointer here. Interesting choice. I wouldn't have taken the 3. I would have gone for the corner. But then saying that the line-out has actually been one of the stronger points I would have thought for the Highlanders throughout this one. Go Chiefs. Says it Reed Nichols there as well. Currently now going to be looking for the kick towards the touchline. That's a lie. He's going for the post. 2 from 2 at the moment. Kane Hamilton in the background. He's not a very large man compared to Malachi Selby Rickett. Match now 45 minutes in, and there is a free to ear sport, very limited, usually on Prime as well, says Simon. And I noticed I tried to watch an All Blacks game on Prime, like the replay of it, just because I was like, oh, it's on, I might as well watch it. And throughout the 80 minutes, there would have literally been 20 ad breaks, like not even exaggerating. The game took about 3.5 hours to get through the 2 hours because of all the breaks that they did have in it as well. And Blues played yesterday, says Hank. Unfortunately, their game up against Moana Pacifica was postponed due to the cases that we did have for Moana Pacifica's camp. So that game has been postponed to a later date. But hopefully it is going to be, I guess, in the future that we do get to see them play. And next week they have actually got the Hurricanes. Did Crusaders lose a game in 2021? I don't believe they did. For Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, they did it anyway. I think Super Rugby Aotearoa they did, because they did end up losing to the Highlanders. I think I'm not wrong. And also COVID won that game, mate. And there says Johnny. Brody Retallick almost able to charge down that kick from Aaron Smith. Bouncing high, Jonah Lowe takes it nicely, bouncing it up to Amoni Narawa on the halfway line now for the Chiefs. I'm back now. Xavier Rowe, one more pass. Sean Stevenson out to Peter Gasoakola. He's got a little bit of steam going up now. And the big man, Peter Gasoakola, Xavier Rowe now firing it back. Josh Ioane taking out low. Once again, Xavier Rowe back across Josh Ioane. Flat pass to Amoni Narawa. Rowe goes back across to the right-hand side. McWannell. In fact, it was Big Brody Retallick. One of his first carries of the match. We haven't actually seen him too much so far. Josh Ioane now going back. Sean Stevenson, first receiver. Does the fend. He's got Peter Sawakula with him. He's found the offload on the inside to Sam Kane. Wasn't quite able to find it to Sean Stevenson, though. Now Xavier Rowe. Back to Ioane Nankivell. One more drawing pass. Amoni Narawa. Brody Retallick. He backs himself. Offload. What an offload that is. And Amoni Narawa scores the try. And what a offload from the big man. How has he done that? But Narawa has scored the try in the 47th minute. And at this current time, the Chiefs would have a bonus point to their name if they are able to continue going the way that they are. But that was an absolutely outstanding offload. Good to see Big Brody playing rugby again, even as against my Landers. Peter Gasoakola, he's been going nicely. The offload game has been very strong from the Chiefs. And this one here, how did he even get this one away? Nankivell went out to Amoni Narawa. He took the contact, flicks it out the back door, goes straight into the hands of Amoni Narawa to score the try. And thought Brody botched the try there, but he still got it. Yeah, it seemed like he held on to the ball for a little bit too long rather than passing it off to James Lowe. I see Josh Timo still out on the field, so it must be Masisi Dawai that Thomas Umanga Jensen is on for. And also, rest in peace, Sean Wainui with the hashtag G says David Lee, yeah. They are certainly playing to a high standard at the moment, the Chiefs. They were on fire at the end of Super Rugby Aotearoa, and it seems like they are going to continue that throughout. I mean, Trans-Tasman was a little bit tougher for them. They were one of the first New Zealand sides, in fact, the first New Zealand side to have a loss. But we will have to wait and see whether or not they can get through to the quarterfinals of this competition. Didn't want to say about the free trial. The sound cut out. As on there, sorry, what did you say about the free trial? So pretty much, I believe Novmum said that they've got a 7-day free trial. Love the channel, bro. Keep up your hard work as well, says man. Thank you very much, mate. A little bit to the right for Josh Ioane, and he does end up missing out. The 1 year prime is after your blood and your bones as well, says Katie Dixon there. And I'll say yes, says Novmum. Alex Nankivell out to Amoni Narawa. It was a good support run. He was right there behind him. He lures in 3 defenders, Big Brody Retallick there, with the way that it go around, and Amen, and there with the hearts as well from Katie. Amoni Narawa, he didn't score too many tries for the Blues. He has now been able to, he pretty much nailed it in terms of being able to get himself one for the Chiefs. Taken nicely now once again. Alex Nankivell firing it back. Currently 22 metres out, and they are going to continue to try and build their way through a few more phases. It's going to be Henry Slater. That's a lie. Who's Henry Slater? That's a name. Henry Slater. That's a big hit from Aaron Smith. It's going back for the original penalty. Aaron Smith's not happy about Josh Ioane leaving the Highlanders. He has put in pushes when he wasn't looking, and he's also just nailed him in that tackle late. He's not a happy man, Aaron Smith, at the moment. I think he's just trying to show Josh Ioane a thing or two about sticking with a side, because at the end of the day, Aaron Smith there for 164 games for the Highlanders. Now, Ioane kicks it, and it is nicely played. Goes into touch as well, and also bloody Highlanders, says Copter there. Although the game is not over yet, they just need to try and stop the Chiefs from being able to get themselves that bonus point, which they do already have at this current time. But if they get themselves a try, it will change it around a little bit. For Tuli Paya, very quiet game so far from him, and looking good for the Chiefs, says Novmum. Currently now looking to the back of the line, out taken. Not straight though. Outside shoulder. Oh, there's going to be now the scrum, and Brodie Retallick not quite able to nail that one. Henry Slater, I think he plays for the Exeter Chiefs and plays for England. Yeah, Henry Slater does. Who's Henry Slater? So I feel like that's a combination of the two, isn't it? And also you think Henry Slater, the Exeter Chiefs, in there. And also Sunday tomorrow, yes, says Reed, it is indeed. And it is going to be the one game that has taken place for Super Rugby. The Brumbies taking on the Western Force. What should be, I'd say that one's going to be, I mean, it's got the potential to be match of the weekend. Although this game's being quick as well. And Yo from George Meyer, welcome into the live stream, mate. What you up to at the moment, George? Are you working currently? Also, ball going full, or boys going full steam, says Oldie. Going to be fired back to Josh Timu. Now, once again, continues to just roll his way forward a little bit further. Aaron Smith passes it back across to Malachi Selby. Rickett Smith taking that one once again. He's been very quick to the breakdown. Yeah, George is here. And Yo, and there from Brandon. And yeah, Henry Slater's an English player. He plays in the centres, 12 and 13. He has been playing in the English kit as well very recently for the Six Nations. Little knock on there. Not what they would have been after once again for the Highlanders. It's just mistake after mistake, I believe, currently. And I would say, I'm not working as well, says George. Ooh, you know, maybe we get something going, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So as the weekend, I'm going to sneeze. I haven't sneezed them all good. Shannon Frizzell off the field now for the Highlanders. Samasoni Takiaho also making his way out there for the Chiefs now. And now Bradley Slater making his way off. But Samasoni Takiaho, 50 matches as George. And there's his Brandon, or Yo George, I believe that would be, as the combo. Currently 52 minutes gone in this game. And Xavier Rowe is also coming off the field. And that will be the replacement for him, Brad Weber. It's not a good one. I'm in the mood for fast food, as says George there. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? And then there says Jelly Blaze, and also I think Josh Ioane is such a good asset to the Chiefs as well. Taking a hard boys up the Chiefs. Says Manstang, and good day for South Africa. Cheers. And also time for some dank chicken nuggies as well. And Landers got new name players. And there says Oldie, I believe, of the Highlanders, or sorry, the Chiefs. Wait, no, the Landers. So I believe the biggest name that has signed for them is probably Marty Banks. He is going to be the replacement, I guess, for Josh Ioane. And also Anton Leonard-Brown looks fat. Looks like he chucked on weight during the offseason. Although the thing is, like, I guess he's decided that he needs to bulk up a little bit more. Like, he may have been told, I don't know who would have told him, maybe he was on the phone with Ian, and Ian was like, well, you need to be a bit bigger, lad. And then he's like, all right. And then he's done just that. So I guess it's one of those ones, he's probably going to turn the size into muscle later on. I miss you, my best friend. That is at George as well. And also, good day, lads, from South Africa. Cheers, says Peter. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Or I guess I should say good morning. Must be very early on for you. So in the mood for fast food, are you thinking of pudding, George, or not a pudding, a chocolate mousse? Perhaps Anton Leonard-Brown versus Martin Nonu. Good night, Anton Leonard-Brown. And there says Johnny Blaze. And Selby Rickett now coming off the field. Bryn Evans will be the replacement for him. But Liam Coltman now with the line out throw, 40 metres out. Can they find their way over the line here? Josh Dixon goes to the front. Nice set play. Liam Coltman drops it. It wasn't the best pass, and it did not quite go well. And I see, bro, anyway, thoughts on Roger Tuivasa-Sheck this season? Will he make the ABs, bro? I don't think this season, and even next season might be debatable. It just depends, because I know that they aren't too keen on adding in, like, even for the All Blacks last year, we did see they went with the stock standard of what they have been used to. So it's whether or not they're willing to take that risk of bringing in a new player, because I know that people such as a Jonah Nariki, Lester Fainanuku, and all of those guys, Salisi Reasi, I think was another player people wanted to see in the All Blacks, but probably the front runner out of those three was Lester Fainanuku. And also, sorry, I accidentally time someone out again. OMG says that David Mod. Who did you end up timing out, David? Let me know. And I was like, hey, Amish, bro, I'm back. Sorry, something work at home, so I'm missing lots more match of this currently progress. No worries at all, mate. Currently 27 6 minutes left in this game and too much talent in the AB's backline, just the depth of it. As taken nicely there by Mitch Hunt. James Lowe able to drag him down 40 metres out. Now Smith going across. McEley too. He's grown out his hair a little bit since I last saw him. 17 Takiao ends up giving away the advantage. Aaron Smith now sniped and they're going back for the penalty. Not rolling away as the call. So that is why the penalty did end up going the way of the Highlanders. Ash Dixon, or sorry, it's actually Josh Dixon. And I am question time for you. And there says Brandon, go for it. And also, sorry, that's Kyle that you have tied out. That's all right. Kyle is a nice enough guy. He will understand that it was an accident there. Or it is. Also, I've got there. David, I am question time for you, David Demont, in fact. It is with Josh Dixon, knee injury. The Highlanders cannot afford any more injuries at this point of the season. They've still got a long one ahead. They all have to play 13 games for the teams from here on out. Other than, of course, the teams who haven't played, then they've still got their 14. They will be having the sun still out at the moment in Queenstown, although there are a few rough patches around in the background. And also we've got the Roger Tuivasa-Sheck won't have space like he does in league playing number 12. But we'll be interesting to see how mate goes in there. And he's an excellent talent and an athlete. Says Johnny, because how old is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck? I'm not actually too sure. He's 30-something. 31, is he? Is he 31? Is he that old? Not too sure, but currently Hurricanes taking on the Crusaders straight after this one. And also, hi, Brandon, how's Sammy? And he says David the Mod there. And that game will be from Forsyth Bar. And we'll be covering that on the channel. I was watching ad on streaming. So join after the ad time is 2 minutes. Says Michelle there. But now it is going to be Mitch Hunt looking at for the touchline. And he does end up finding it. And he should be the same age as me, 28 as well. Oh, so he's actually younger, 29 this year. So I guess he's still got plenty of time left in him. And he's 28. Says, no, Mum, I wonder why I thought he was so old. Well, not really old. Like 31's not old. But why I thought he was so much older than he is. I think it's because he's been around for so long. So, but Folau Fakatava back out for the Highlanders. This is going to be awesome to see because he has been away for a very long time with his injury. I really hope that there's no repeat. Going to be a big bump up there from Thomas Umanga. Jensen ball on the outside to Fatuli Pai. They're bouncing off everyone. At the moment, now the Highlanders, they're attacking. They smell blood straight away. The Chiefs, they are calling for more reinforcements on the left-hand side. Marino Makeli, too, does take the carry. Now Coleman, flat ball to Fatuli Pai. Plays crash ball stripped, though. Is it ripped away? They're going to be checking this one back, but James Lowe at the moment. Well, sorry, it would have been actually Timu getting driven backwards. Scott Gregory now running high. Doesn't often like to pass. Scott Gregory would rather just go for it himself. Now going back across, I'm looking around. James Lynches is the player that I'm looking for here. And I think Folau Fakatava has seen him as well. Now going back, wide cut out pass over the head of Scott Gregory. And they will be going back for the penalty. Maturity and how he looks, I guess, as well. There says it was David. And also we have got there, do you want to see Sam in real life? And there says Brandon also, this is not fun to say, stay at home for 10 days. And Archie up north says that David the Mod there, but currently 5 meters out. And Thomas Umanga Jensen, he ran very hard at the line. Very nicely for his side. And now it's going to be the scrum feed for the Highlanders, only a few meters out from the Chiefs line. If they can score now, they are still right in this game. Still 24 minutes left. Anything can happen in this one. But one thing is for sure, the Highlanders do need themselves a try. Thomas Umanga Jensen, though, he just played a bit of crash ball, just went for it as well. It was in the end just bulldozing his way through. He's actually larger than I remember him. He's bigger than his brother, Billy Proctor. That's not his brother. His brother's Peter Umanga Jensen. And sorry about Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as well past his best. And there says Steve J. But yeah, it's always going to be tough for him to try and get into that All Black scene. Definitely with, I guess, like midfield so far, they have got plenty of numbers. But then it's out on the wing whether or not he can try and replace someone. Like, because Caleb Clark's going to be going for his same spot if he does play out on that wing. But Lau Pakatava now going to the short side. Mitch Hunt, a little bit of a shuffle step. Almost was able to slip through the gap. But Lau Pakatava now once again, it was put down. Was it backwards? It was backwards. So now for Lau Pakatava, they've actually got the advantage once again. Will be the replacement, Bryn Evans, with the run for Lau Pakatava. Little kick behind. And that is going to be taken by Brad. We were going back for the penalty. Double blow those, the whistle. Okay, Sam Kane has just been told 2 offsides in a row. Any more, they're going off for 10 minutes. And also Brandon has said yes there as well. And also we have got there Hamish Bro last game and this game, some way to going any tough matches to come, like heavyweight game this tournament. And he says for sure. So I'd say the big game that everyone will be looking forward to for a like kind of South Island point of view will be Crusaders versus the Highlanders next week. And then also Blues versus Hurricanes next week should also be a very good game. Chiefs versus Moana Pacifica, we did see that one in preseason, so I feel like people may know what's going to happen in that one a little bit more, but it will be good to see Moana Pacifica in action for the first time for this year as well. We will go like this, and we will go like this. There we go. Now it's going to be out the back, or is it? No, they're not really going forward. It's a penalty to the Chiefs. And they have been able to win it for themselves, and also someone's going to get sin-binned as well, says David the Mod. Gareth Evans not very happy with that one. And there have been a lot of penalties against both of these sides. Also, he's cruising for a bruising. And there from Katie Dixon. Liam Coleman looking a little bit puffed at this point in time. One moment, we will go like this. And we will go like this. There we go. I was just making sure we were all running smoothly. We are indeed. And one more try for the Chiefs. And there says no, mum. If they get one more, it would be very impressive. For them to be able to go above of the Waratahs, they would have to win this game by 31 points. And are you back, mate? My apologies, mate. And there, as I says, David the Mod. Currently, yeah, it's gone short once again. Clint Tapia going up. He was held up. He is now gone to ground. Brad Weber fires it back. And Gatlin does put the ball extremely high there. Taken nicely by Sam Gilbert. Now back across Scott Gregory. With a good low attacking kick. Low attacking run, I guess I should say. He didn't kick the ball at all. Now firing it back. And through the halfway regions, Josh Dixon. Tackled low by Norris. I'm just looking, what do the Highlanders have to do to score? Not that they've given the ball back. And what's going to be Boshier does find the offload. That is, of course, going to be Kalen Boshier rather than Lachlan, who is in Japan. This current point in time, Sam Gilbert pushed over. Push from behind Sam Gilbert. Almost having to make that tackle. On the side once again for Tulipai, just making a little bit more distance. Although that was Quintapai, I'm having a shocker with the name game at the moment. Question for you, Hamish. What up north with D? What up north with D? Up north in the country, I believe that would be. For that one, that's a penalty to the Highlanders now. Brad Weber frustrated with that one. The Highlanders, I believe it was Kalen Boshier who was penalised for that one. There's some players who are taking some deep breaths. Daniel Leonard Brown, he's actually only just gotten out there, and he has already taken some very deep breaths. Now, the big question is, who are going to be the men that they take off for the later stages of this game? Because we do know the benches for this matchup. There's a few good players who are lurking around there. There they are. Marino Makailitu, he is already out on the field. Bryn Evans as well. Daniel Leonard Brown. I think Josh Honick has made his way out there, possibly. And Falau Fakatala, Thomas Ubaga Jetson. Rody Rotalic. It's been very strong throughout this game so far. We have seen he's been pretty dominant in the way that he's playing, and also had that insanely good offload that was able to work his way towards the try of Amoni Narua. Now the Islanders sitting 42 metres out from the line. They just need a try. I feel like without a try in this game, they won't have a lot of confidence going into the next one up against the Crusaders, who certainly scored plenty of tries. But Ainsley now off the field for Honick, so they have just made that change. If Lau Fakatava, another Dupont, as well, our type of Hawkesbury, strong as or halfback, not afraid of the contact. So currently now going to be a roll in their forward, their way forward, I should say. Me and George are discussing food at the moment. A video. I saw a message, so I better reply. I think he's going to get food at this point in time, George. It's going to be pushed down. It's a knock-on advantage now in favour of the Highlanders. Falau Wakatipu, I should say. Now Mitch Hunt with an attacking run, trying to pierce his way through. I remember that game that he had up against the Crusaders. Little knock-on. And now they are going back across. Going back to the first original knock-on. The scrum in favour of the rear, but Sean Stevenson, unfortunately, has had another mistake. Oh, they're talking to Connor Garden-Bishop. I haven't actually heard from that man since he did end up getting injured a long time ago. He's actually Jackson Garden-Bishop's brother, who he is coming off the bench in the Hurricanes game. I believe they're not starting him instead of Ruben Love. Now, currently 16 minutes left in this game between these two sides. And the next game that we will be covering will be Crusaders taking on the Hurricanes. That's at Forsyth Bar, believe it or not, something that I don't think I ever expected to be saying for that game. Normally, Orange Theory Stadium, home games for the Crusaders are the bread and butter for them. Currently now, scrum feed, whole new front row here for the Highlanders. Okay, Connor Garden-Bishop at the moment. He is just saying, like, they always just need to keep on believing. And I have got two videos. What go to the BE Plants versus Zombies, says Brandon. That's going to be another scrum reset here. It's like a little bit of a problem between the two here. In terms of the new front rows, I believe the only player who was in the original starting front rows is actually Ollie Norris, who's up against a strong Josh Honeck at the moment. Which does not make it too easy for yourself, but currently 15 minutes left in this game. And the Chiefs, they have got themselves a bonus point if they continue to be 3 tries ahead. Will they be able to do it? And also, I should mention the game between the Warriors and the Melbourne Storm is just kicking off. So we'll keep you guys updated with the scoreboard throughout that game as well. So I was excited for tonight, says Xavier. And that will be, of course, the Rebels taking on the Reds for that one. Josh Dixon now charging his way forward once again up to the 22. Could this be the opportunity for the Highlanders? Now Marino Makele finds the offload. Getting closer and closer. Falau Wakatipu, the ball's gone backwards. Now Makele once again. Almost turned over. Highlanders now going back. Mitch Hunt wide. Cut out pass. Stock Gregory. Drawn pass. James Lynch just scores the try. And that is the try that the Highlanders were after, that they did need. And he has done very nicely. Their scrums are unsettled. Actually, it seems like there's just a little bit of something, like someone's pushing a bit too early or something's going wrong for them. That just doesn't quite seem like it is playing the game for them. But that was a good backline movement. Out on the wing, James Lynch just scores the try. We will add him to the try scorers list, even though his last name is a little bit harder to spell. Hopefully that is correct for that one. And in the 65th minute, with 15 minutes to go, the Highlanders back in this game now. If they can get this kick, they will only actually be 7 points behind playing versus Zombie in 5 months as well. And then also, geez, that wasn't meant to happen. Uh-oh. Is there a 4 pass here for James Lynch's? Okay, this isn't good. This could actually be a disallowed trial. I have to take his name off the list. And that is case, and also Chiefs says Fragrant Ink, and then OTMO says Novmum. Is it going to be backwards, or is it going to be the try here? Wait, that's the same thing. Is it going to be backwards, or is it going to be no try here? I think it's forward. I think it's this one here. It's gone forward. It's gone forward, so that will be a no try. I would think so anyway. Right, we're going to have to take that one back. Although he's looking at it quite a few times, so maybe he's going to be all right with it. Go on. Ah, no, it's forward. James Lynch is just not quite getting that one. And also no tries. Also COVID-19 cases 1908. And also we have got there, I reckon the Wallabies could have beaten the ABs last year if things had been slightly different. I rated them highly last year. They were phenomenal last year, that is for sure. But Tony Brown, he's looking disappointed with the fact that that one just didn't quite go the way, and no boo as well in there. And also they zapped it. And also don't ever get tested. 0 cases. Let's go. As Johnny Blaze there. And also they scored a try the Highlanders and did Mitchell make the conversion. Unfortunately, it was no try in the end for the 4 pass. So James Lynch is not able to get that one. Natoa Koi now making his way out onto the field for Brody Retallick. Currently now 23 points to 9. That would have made it a lot closer. And SOS out to Izzy Folau is on there. Says Johnny Blaze. It's a penalty now to the Highlanders. George is just telling me about how he is going to be going. He wants to go to KFC to be able to get himself something. I assume Wicked Wings might be on the table for that one. But currently 67 minutes through this matchup, the Highlanders going for the corner. I feel bad. I feel like James Lynch now needs to score a try just so that he can say that he has got it. And also you need to update your scoreboards. So that says Carlos, and also we have got, got an up and go. And that way, as an updater to put that try back on that was disallowed, or it might have just gone back to 9, did it? Might have been the case there. Now throwing it in once again. It's going to be taken nicely. Who's got this one? James Lynch is now going to be passing the ball back into the hands now. Scott Gregory close to the line once again. I think if they go short side, they will have the numbers here after a couple more phases. Now going back around, Daniel Leonard-Brown after Josh Honick with the carry. Still going to be just on their side. Where is James Lynch as he wants the try back that he did just have disallowed for Lau Pakatava? Where we going? It's going to be Gareth Evans on the side. Alongside it was Daniel Leonard-Brown that time. Josh Dixon, Singh didn't quite get it right. James Lynch is all, no. Didn't quite get there over the line that time. This time it could be the case for them. They get him very close. Who wants it for Lau Pakatava? Now it goes back to Daniel Leonard-Brown. They couldn't stop him. And Daniel Leonard-Brown now gets the try. And also, what's your favourite ABBA song, Hamish? I haven't actually heard an ABBA song in a very long time for myself. Something, sorry, brother. I just heard in the background. So I'm not too sure who did something wrong there, but someone apologised. Daniel Leonard-Brown, 68 minutes into this game now. And the Highlanders have got that try back that they did have on the board just before I'm coming. Also, Dry says fragrant there. Or fragrant, I should say, rather than fragrant. As the try. And now the kicking attempt here for Mitchell. Now, if he gets the 7 points difference between the two sides. Yeah, he's got it. And now the score, it is going to be 16 points to 23 now. It's getting closer. Nice save, Amish. He's getting Nixon. Okay, Chiefs should still win this one. Says not mum. Daniel Leonard-Brown. I don't think that would have been my prediction of who was going to score the first try for the Highlanders either in this one. So it's weird at the moment. It seems to be everything that is not what I would have thought is happening. I think someone's hand smacked into that ball. Does he end up going out? No, did end up missing the hand. So now it will be the Chiefs who have got this ball just outside of the 22. And currently 70 minutes. I don't know why my brain was like, what's going on? And also this league belongs to New Zealand. Or which country? Where is it happening at? So it is happening in New Zealand for this game, but you've also got games taking place in Australia as another one that we do have. But currently now Brad Weber goes back to Bryn Gatland. Going to Pye, attack and run. Away running straight at Scott Gregory. That's been a good battle in the midfield. Scott Gregory's just been sat on by one of his props, so that's probably not what he would have been expecting to have We need to wake up this morning, bring Gatlin a little bit of a juggle, but Joshuani is off the field. So now Gatlin gets the perfect opportunity. Be able to try and continue making his way forward. Daniel Leonard-Brown not able to turn it over. Firing it back now. Good step from Chase Tia. Not too sure who he's on the field for at this point in time for Tia. I still see the bright boots of Sean Stevenson in the background. Peter Kasawa finds the offload to Jonah Lowe, who now kicks it in behind it, sits up. Oh, it's going to be Sam Gilbert. And it's a knock-on advantage. Natoa Koi offloading it straight back into the hands of Josh Dixon, but it's going back for the original knock-on. And the Chiefs are going to have this one again. I am questioning for you about donuts. Okay, let me have it. What we got? And come on, Chiefs, let's wrap this up, boys, as well. And then a little ballerina. It's called ABBA song, Amish. And there says, I almost said Dancing Queen, but that's because Katie's at the same time. It says David and Dancing Queen as well. Says Katie and Bloom, Bloom Possibilia loss. And yeah, it says Oldie, but currently 8 minutes. If the Chiefs score again, that bonus point will actually be back in their favour. Currently, the Highlanders have got themselves a bonus point, and your energy remains the same from the test match to this live stream. If you got sleep or not, you are non-stop doing commentary so great, says Coding. So after the test match, this morning session, I guess I could call it, / early afternoon, we did end up, I edited, did a little bit of editing. My tongue grew a little bit, which is why talking's harder. But then after that, we have got 3 more Super Rugby live streams that we are going to be doing. All Blacks team now 2022, yes, as well says Reed Nichols. And we are getting very close to the Rugby Championship. It's going to be here before we know it. Now Brad Weber goes back across to Natoa Akoi. Brad Weber looking for this ball. Now firing it back once again. Peter Gasoakula. No knock on called. Samasoni Takiyaho. A few more meters, 10 meters out now for the Chiefs. Natoa Akoi off to Angus Tarval. First carry of the match. Simpson's coming off the bench and replacing the starting number 3, Sione Mafaleo. Bring Gatlin with a bit of crash ball high. Says it, Jason as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you're doing well. Sean Stevenson drops the head. And once again, going to be dragged down. Brad Weber goes back. Only 7 minutes left now on this one. Who will be able to get the final little moment in this game? Wide cut out past Gatlin. Bounce past to James Lowe. Now cutting on the inside. The Hawke's Bay representative in the Bunnings NBC. They have had it for a very long time for the Ramfurly Shield since taking it off of, I believe it was actually originally Otago that they stole it off for that match. Another good tackle. Good phase play. They're up to 12 phases now for the Chiefs. There is a player down. I think it's Josh Dixon. He actually had a knee injury earlier on. I hope it is that same knee and not an elbow like it originally looked like. We have a little bit of cramp out there at the moment. Alex Nankerville and smashed on the tackle. Brad Weber once again going back across the Tarval. The 2 Chiefs All Black representatives linking up. Sean Stephen Skin and Rayasi, cousins as well. And also we have got there, Hamish, can we use leg to kick ball sometimes in rugby or not? You are allowed to kick the ball, but the passing has to go backwards, which is one concept that always sounds a little bit weird when describing it. They've got another advantage. Brad Weber tries to snipe around the side, offloads back to James Lowe, tries to flick it, and it's going back for the original penalty. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs take the 3 points. Okay, deliberate knockdown would have been the penalty. Okay, the referee, Paul Williams. I think it's Paul Williams, isn't it? He is just having a bit of a chat with one of the players saying, don't yell at me every breakdown. And also we got there. And also be quite, I can see you what you do. Like my favorite donuts are the free ones as well. Exactly right. You want those free, like, I guess that's the thing. Even if they're stale, they're still better than nothing. And what is your favorite donut? I would say favorite donut, chocolate would do. Just a basic old chocolate one. And hey, mate, who do you think is the number 1 T20 player right now? Or T20 player? See, I'm thinking of bowlers, but then batters as well, probably another one. A lot of people do think of the batsmen when you think of, like, T20 players. I know that Rashid Khan was called the... In fact, I'll go off the rankings because I would almost agree with it. Dava Milan It's a very good option. He has gone for the 3, and now the score is going to be 26 points to the Chiefs, 16 to the Highlanders, and also, yeah, little buddy. And there says David the Mod. But currently now, we have got there, you little poo. What's going on there? I don't know what's happened. And then we're currently now on the halfway line. It is the owner being Mitch Hunt kicking off once again there. And now it's going to be taken nicely by Lachlan McWannell. He's had a pretty good debut so far for the Chiefs. Samasoni Takiaho. Once again, and if the Chiefs can hang on to the ball for a little while now, I feel like that will be the perfect opportunity for them to be able to get out of this game without having a bonus point conceded against them, because that is the last thing they want. And also we have got there Brandon out here taking people to church as well, says Katie Dixon. Bilal Fakatava looking to the short side now once again. Marino Mikaeli too looks for the offload, sits up for Fakatava. A lot of pressure here, Mitch Hunt. Going back across Josh Honick now. And the IPL, says Thomas, or Tim David, actually. I reckon Tim David is a good shout. Did you see what he got in the IPL? Was it the IPL or the PSL that he is in at the moment? Or it's actually his wage, isn't it? Got a large amount of money, and those American donuts are delicious, but not for the hips. As well, that's going to be the penalty to the Chiefs. And they have once again been able to get themselves another penalty. I think Samasoni Takiaho just punched Mitch Hunt in the butt. Fair enough, I guess, if that's the way he wants to do it. Currently now, Bryn Gatland going to be kicking this one for the touchline. Okay, thanks. You give me an idea as well. He got 1.6 million in the IPL. Says Tyus there, and that one has gone straight into touch. Now 30 metres out, and the Chiefs have got another attacking opportunity. But Folau Fakatava trying to link up, looking for the offload, just didn't quite find it. Straight on the ball, Alex Nankerville was able to turn it over. Now the Chiefs, they might be reaping the rewards. If they get one more, they will actually not just cancel that bonus point of the Highlanders well and truly, taking it out of the question, but it will also mean that they get themselves their own bonus point, move up to 5 points. And also I got some plain donuts out of my kitchen right now, and hallelujah. And also it looks like Chiefs will go into the second place in the standings at this current time. It does seem that way. If they can get an extra try, they will go into second, but they might be able to stay above the Crusaders and the Hurricanes, whoever wins that game. And later on, Brad Weber now going back across to Pitakas Sawakula. Around the side once again, driving forward. And closer and closer. Atumoli actually getting his first carry. It's making his way out onto the park. Angus Tarvell going down. Scott Gregory almost in that breakdown, losing the footing. Counter ruck, though, was good because of it. Almost ended up in the hands of the Highlanders, but Brad Weber had to clean it up. Ball is available. It's the call. James Lowe goes back now. It's going to be kicked in behind from Bryn Gatland, just looking for a bit of territory, and it does go out only a few metres out from the line. Nicely done by Bryn Gatland. Hamish, can you recall any deadly fights between rugby players or player attacking rugby, as we see all the time in football, or All Blacks players doing fighting, or any team? Says Coding, I mean, back in the day, it used to be if you're out on the field and you can take a punch, you were the best player out there, because like punches would be thrown all over the place. Definitely State of Origin. If you look up old State of Origin games, you will see some scraps that were taking place. And also, we're going to watch the game. I'm in Australia. It used to be Foxtel, but I can't find it. It is on Stan Sport in Australia. If you have got a subscription to that, then you will be all sorted. But unfortunately, if you do not, then it is, I believe, the only option in Australia to be able to watch the game. Oh, nicely, Scott Gregory has been able to take that catch. Fires it across. It was debatably forward. Quite flat anyway. Now for Tulipai, drawn past Scott Gregory now. Out of the hands of Josh Timu. Beautiful offload on the inside. Now for Lau Fakatava. I believe it's Natoa Koi with down at the moment. For Lau Fakatava, kicks it in behind. It's a foot race between him and Samasoni Takiaho, and Takiaho wins it. Samasoni Takiaho wins a foot race against Folau Fakatava. And great kick as well. And also, did you hear about Pooh as well? Says Brandon there. Interesting question. And also, Church, more like up and go. And there's Brandon, but Samasoni Takiaho, he had to retreat well and truly with that kick over the top. And now it will be the goal line dropout with just a little bit of time left. And this one, and I believe Natoa Koi, they will have the stoppage. Doesn't look too good for him. He's still down lying on his back. I'm wondering whether it's a knee or maybe a neck. It could actually be a neck here. Okay, you want to get up? I can't even... Did he say I can't even feel something? I really hope that wasn't what he said. Currently, Ngātahi Koe, it looks like he's really struggling at the moment. I think he got crunched, did he? Is that what happens here? Okay, I'm not too sure what it was because I've just shown the breakdown and it didn't seem like there was too much, but maybe just a little crunch of the neck or something. And also his position, says Thomas, at the moment they are lying down on the ground, but it will be a goal line dropout for them. And he's quick. He is indeed Samasoni Takiaho. And it's that communion bread and then 80 minutes, brother. So yeah, we are currently sitting 80 minutes through and we're just waiting to see whether or not we are going to have... Ngātahi Koe getting back to his feet. He looks like he is going to be all right to stand up. The referee helps him up. And it looks like he is going to be making his way off the field. So I believe they will have to make that replacement again. And Brodie Retallick will make his way back out, I would think. And also, so it's finished, says Thomas, just not quite. And the game has finished, says Thomas. So we have still got the goal line dropout. We're sitting at 80 minutes, though, but it wasn't quite 80 when it did end up going over. And the body of Christ is us, Katie Dixon now. I'm watching White Ferns and India woman match in background of the ground. Where there were beautiful mountains. This place was Queenstown. It was indeed. So they have been playing those games in Queenstown also. And flight takeoff of that grounds. Here's Michelle, but Shannon Frizzell, the moment, is on the touchline. But Ngātahi Koe, he's making his way off there. Looks like he's very, I guess you could say, very ginger at the moment in the way that he's walking. So Brodie Retallick makes his way back out there. Do they have extra time? At this stage, not really. That's now the siren. So as soon as the ball goes out or there is a try, that will be the end of the game by this one. But Gareth Evans, Highlanders haven't finished attacking because if they get themselves one more try, in fact, yeah, if they get one more try, they will get themselves a bonus point. Gilbert off the field, and it will be actually Marty Banks gets about a minute of time out there on the field for this game. Trying to find the offload. Didn't work out. Gareth Evans asking who touched it. And that is going to be the end of the game. Gareth Evans is not happy at the moment here, but that is going to be the end of the first New Zealand game. The Chiefs winning this one 26-16, and fingers crossed for Akoi, exactly right. Who was recovering the ball, and there, so it was a goal line dropout from the Chiefs, and now it is going to be the end of this match. Chiefs have won now. They're just waiting for the final whistle as well, and now they have been able to shut down that chance of a bonus point, which is huge at this point in time. Celebrations for the Chiefs, and now we have got another game of rugby, ladies and gentlemen. The Crusaders taking on the Highlanders, a great win for the Chiefs. Not the best game ever, as says David. Yeah, it was a little bit sloppy at times, few disciplinary problems for both sides, handling errors as well. But at the end of the day, it is going to be their first game of Super Rugby. Hopefully it will improve for the next week. The Chiefs, they move on to face Moana Pacifica. The Highlanders, they will go on to face the Crusaders. And where do you think the Rebels will finish? Oh, okay, where are they going to finish? I would say I'm going to say they get 8th. I feel like I wanted to say 8th because you are a Rebel supporter, but I think more than likely 9th or 10th, unfortunately, depending on how they go and depending on how long they leave Andrew Callaway out for. And well done, Chiefs, and also Buddy Popper time, and also still felt like a preseason game, or maybe like a fans might have been the factor, as says David. Yeah, hopefully we can have some sort of crowd in the near future of Super Rugby. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and what a place for rugby, says Oldie. It's certainly an atmosphere in the background in Queenstown. But now we are going over to our next live stream. It will be starting at 6:40 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to check that out as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all in a short moment for the next one.